Also, the stream is live, and the first thing I think that went out on the stream was the meow.
I think that's perfect.
I'm glad I didn't say not the face.
That should be part of our intro when we get one. Welcome to Rose Lawyers, a Dungeons and Dragons. Meow! Meow!
So there are a few things a few businessy things before we get started. I was hoping Trent would be here to talk about them, but we will catch him up.
Do without him.
So first thing, there's a 50-50 chance that next week I'm not going to be able to play.
Oh no!
I may have clients in town visiting that I have to entertain. So, and I don't mean that in a naughty way. I just mean take out for drinks or whatever.
Stop it, you.
There are clients you enjoy if you have to take them out.
You could do like
Just
in the
has to be
IT
drunk and vulnerable in front of them.
You could do like in the IT crowd episode where they entertain them by playing D&D.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
Also, I ate them and I don't want them to ruin my game, okay?
Yes. No, not really. But so I'll know in the next couple days and let you guys know.
No worries. I think the cat will be upset, but
Mhm.
the rest
I
of us.
think the cat's just
There's no
gonna-
one for me to listen to me.
That's right.
Yep.
Dearest
Oh, my
cat
goodness.
die. Day was a beautiful day.
So the second thing is Soundburst, which is the music behind the jukebox in the campaign, is going away. Yeah, but there are a couple of potential solutions out there. One, Roll20 has added their own support for DMs to upload MP3s. So that's one route to go. May go that way. Another option is Sirenscape now has a web player where, like, I go to my player and do stuff, and then you guys would, open up a web page on your own browser, and it would play there. So that's an option as well. And it's free for y'all, pay for me, but that's okay. I don't mind. So it's, something to think about. We've got a week or so.
What kind of load would using the Roll20 thing put on the game?
It would be the same as what it currently is. But it would be more trouble for me because I would have to go and find the files and then upload them to my library. And I couldn't use your MP3s in your library, I don't think.
Yeah, I think you have to upload them yourself, which is... There's a tool online to strip music from Fanburst and SoundCloud and pretty much anything.
Mm-hmm.
But you still have to manually go in and download each one and re-upload it.
So what I'm hearing is Sirenscape is not only going to make the game run faster because the load isn't in that browser, but also it's going to be more accessible for you and for everyone else.
So I don't know that. But, maybe, not sure. Which leads into another topic. So these are all things I just want us to think about. We'll talk about them in chat over the course of the week and see what we think. And that is the next campaign. We've got some options available to us. So
Is this the Fantasy Grounds chat?
no, not Fantasy Grounds.
Okay. Phew.
Yeah,
Don't scare me, Brian.
no.
I thought we were pregnant.
No, we, this is the. Do we want to try out some new tech chat?
Such as?
So hang on, sirens. So one option is, do we want to start using webcams?
Oh,
Another.
I do not own a webcam.
Okay.
but I can buy it.
That could be arranged.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap, and if anybody needs help, I'm happy to help out.
Same here.
And so that's one thing. And
I have to sit up straight.
Yeah,
I was
and-
seated so poorly, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
you know, I move around a lot, and it's really dark in middle cave, so you know, so you know, also for any of these, feel free to say no. There's another thing that I've been thinking about, and that is, you know, the idea of moving away from grid-based combat and doing things more theater of the mind. And what that might mean is not using Roll20, but using like D&D Beyond and just doing things in Discord.
I'd like to try that in like a one shot
Yeah,
and just.
That's yeah.
yeah.
Because I won't lie, I enjoy having some visuals to look at, or just
Sure.
like to
And-
to remember what is where, and you know, because
I-
if you're trying
I
to
think
plan
I-
and you forget that there are, I don't know, some orcs over there, and you decide to go, and although I guess it could make sense,
Well, doing theater of the mind would be a
think-
little less tactical than we normally are. It would be a little more, just a little more
Flow of
loose.
the
Hit
moment.
it until it dies.
Well, no,
Yeah.
but you know, we wouldn't be as hardcore. You know, I'm standing exactly here, hitting exactly that one. You know, and you'd be able to ask me where people are or whatnot. And if we needed to, we could pull something up, I suppose. But we'd like use Discord for me to show you pictures of this is what this person looks like, or this is what. You
Okay.
know, here's an image of the city, or
Yeah, I'm like with and like I'm a unfortunately like almost totally visual learner. So like I'm probably the worst with remembering names and things like that. You guys are all very helpful with that.
there are also online tools that are like campaign notebooks
Ooh.
that are better organized than Roll20 lets you be, where I could go in and add like the NPCs and things, and then when you encounter them, I can just say, okay, now this one's visible.
Yeah, we've experimented with those before. I know Trent has one. We had one for our campaign setting when we made it in the supplementary world building game that I don't remember the name of.
Microscope. Anyway,
Yeah, they're-
so these are all options to think about, or we stick with Roll20. Anyway, I just wanted to get the discussion rolling.
Definitely.
Oh, but we'd get to use real dice, and I'd have an excuse to spend ridiculous amount of money on pretty dice.
Yep.
This doesn't sound like a boon.
I don't. Is D&D Beyond customizable enough to add like the talents and stuff like that? I
yeah.
have not tried to add
So,
stuff like that.
so yes, you can add homebrews, and we would just add the talents like as feats, individual one-line feats or whatever. And you can add a campaign, so I could see. I'm sorry, I would add a campaign. You would add your characters under that campaign. That sort of thing, and yeah. Anyway, something to think about. We have, like I said, plenty of time.
Okay, awesome.
Things to ponder.
Okay. Who would like to do the recap?
Well, I did it last time, so I think somebody else should.
I feel like I should. I'm just trying to remember everything. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I'm blanking.
Well, we started about to dropping off from the Dreamers and having finished the fight against the shark people and about to chase them down, but thinking it was not a great idea because it was trapped.
Correct. That is where we started.
Then
That was me
creative
attempting
use
to give
of-
somebody the help action.
Shoot.
So we finished the fight. I'm going to steal this from you in a second.
I know, I'm having a complete brain fart right now. Don't
We
mind me.
found the underwater crossbow and used it to clear the traps in the tunnelway, and discovered that the seaweed did.
Bad things.
Oh,
to
yeah.
skin.
Yes, and then we moved through. We got into the open. Was it a sack? Well, it was an open chamber where there was the princess, and then there was an unknown individual that was. They were both kind of on these circular spots where beams of light were hitting them, and then striking a gate. We couldn't see beyond the gate, but we knew that there was something wrong here. So we, who was in the middle of the room? Oh my goodness, my brain is not on today.
Okay, Larry, I'm sorry I'm taking it from you.
No, yeah, take it away. Oh my goodness, I'm off.
Go for it,
I
Tony.
have to turn the record on.
Oh, I don't remember all the names, but there was Queen Nomura and the Sahagwin, I'm going to call him a chieftain.
Mm-hmm.
And then beyond that, there was a massive speaking shark. This was after we fought, I'm guessing, some sort of hag-like creature and some lobster people that were apparently very drawn to magic items and light. But we bested them, and we fought off. During the fight, our shark demon friend made his way up to Jacob and played Tickle My Intestines with some sort of sword.
Yeah, never saw it.
And we were able to win the fight, but as we figured out with his maniacal laughter, his goal was to get them all to kill each other, but only one needed to die to open up the portal back to the abyssal, the midnight tide, I can't remember.
The undersea.
The undersea. But luckily we had a vial of anti-magic goop, and as he fled into it, rather than chase, we just closed the portal. Spoke with Queen Nomura, and she brought us back to the city as champions. What we found was a large, sort of poison-spewing dagger-like weapon that is some sort of honorific to their people. And Lodeg picked his teeth with it to insult the is he Sahagwin? I think he's
Yeah, he is.
the Sahagwin ambassador, and this inspired them to duel. Unfortunately for Lodeg, we could not interfere, and he got pretty one-sidedly fish-handled. Losing the dagger, but somehow gaining a modicum of respect for each other in the process.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the session, during the fight, Tira had left because Pontouf had been distracted by a laser light or a catfish and was chasing it through the city, where she was led into an alley or a building and everything went black for her. Then she woke up, I believe strapped to a chair, a demon staring her down.
So, not strapped to a chair, but in a chair.
Sorry, I was fantasy fuel. No.
Very good. Have some inspiration.
Larry.
Did it.
You thief! No, you did amazing.
Except I don't remember anybody's names.
It's all right. You did fine. So, Tira,
Yes.
when you come to, you are sitting in a very comfortable chair in what can best be described as a parlor. There's a table next to you with a tea service on it. You can see steam rising from the spout of the teapot.
I was about to ask, am I still underwater?
You are not underwater.
Great. That's fantastic.
And you are completely dry. Pontouf is seated across from you on the floor next to a woman who is wearing strange garb. She is seated in a chair similar to yours. A filled teacup on the table next to her. She, seeing you awaken, takes her hand away from where it had been petting Pantouf, and he is trembling slightly and whimpering a little bit as she was petting him. She lifts her hand up, brings both clawed hands up to her face, removes her mask, and you see behind it, she looks like an old woman. She sets the mask on the table next to her and looks at you. She picks up her tea.
Gonna do my best to school my features to a mask. But like Seema does. She's in business mode.
Yep.
Just, I'm a little scared from the scary lady.
She gives you a moment to do so as she blows on her tea. And after you take a moment to sort of collect yourself, she says, "You may call me Rangda."
I was about to ask. Randa?
Rangda.
Rhonda. Got it.
Others call me the Hag Mother.
Well, Rangda, what is it that you want? Why am I here? Where is here?
In the country you're from, by the way, Rangda is a term of endearment
Oh,
and respect.
then I wouldn't call her that.
Okay, and I'll let you take it back. It's what you call an elderly woman. It's almost like grandmother, as opposed to nana or granny. Right? So,
Yeah, I don't think I would call her that. Well, Hag Mother. I'm here. You are here. Where is here? And what do you want from me?
she sips at her tea, and she says, "This is my domain. You and your dog are the ones who intruded here." And she sips at her tea.
Well, my apologies. I don't remember intruding anywhere. We were under sea the last time I checked.
She gestures to a cabinet behind her where you see cages and glass bowls filled with water. In the cages are little birds, little bats. In the glass bowls filled with water, you see little fish, including a familiar-looking clownfish. And she says, "My eyes and ears in the world. And your pet chased one all the way back here. As did you."
Well, our mistake then. You know how
Yes.
animals are. If you just point us to the door, we'll be out of your air in minutes.
Oh, well, you see. And she holding the tea in one hand, starts petting Pantouf again. And he starts whimpering a little bit. She says,
I would rather you do not do that. Please.
"He's such a pretty boy.
I know.
Do you know how the troll hounds were first created? And she keeps petting him.
No.
The trolls made a deal with a fiend and bred their hunting hounds with hellhounds. The pups were the first troll hounds. This is why they fear the fire, because it reminds them of the pits. But this one is special. Yes,
Yes.
he has a bit of
That
the
I know.
celestial in him, too. And she keeps petting him.
I'm doing my best not to throw a fucking cup at her. I know he's special. Now, I believe you still have not said what you want. Or maybe it would be more accurate to ask what your masters want.
What masters?
Bleak Theater, of course.
You
Or should we pretend that you don't work for them?
You misapprehend our relationship.
Do they make you believe it's a partnership? That you're important to them?
Oh, no, not at all. You see, we have but a contract between us. One that I am beholden to fulfill. You know, there are rules to things.
Of course.
Such as if one trespasses and then wishes to leave, one must pay a price.
Is it really trespassing when one doesn't know?
Ignorance of the rules is no excuse.
Again, third time I ask, what do you want?
She looks at you and she says, for you, because you're so polite, I will give you this freely and without obligation.
She's lying, isn't she?
Roll
Or
insight.
she's keeping my dog, isn't she?
Ooh, let me see. She is very difficult to read. She's old and she has played this game for a very long time. But you don't get any hint of deception from her. You feel like instead she's steering you through a conversation to a point where she wants you to be.
Mm-hmm.
So far you don't feel like she has lied to you. And she says, I have finally figured it out.
Congratulations.
Oh, if you truly understood, you would not mock me so. But I must forgive the young. I have decided I do not wish the Bleak Theater to succeed. However, I cannot, due to my contract, interfere.
Why the sudden change of art? if we're making
Oh,
polite conversation.
let me ask you a question first. An exchange. You got the first question for free. And she,
I am your guest.
oh, trespassers do not get guest hospitality.
Then I suppose what I want isn't really in the matter of the question, is it? Ask away.
She continues to pet Pantouf. She says, would you kill me if you had the chance?
Does it matter?
Don't answer a question with a question.
You've never been to court. Probably.
She says, a change of heart because I accomplished my goals for them, and in doing so learned information that I didn't have before I signed the contract.
So you accomplish their goals.
My part, small part.
Nothing to do with these spies of yours, I'm sure.
Oh no. These
She lied.
spies. Roll again.
Man, I have such good bonuses, but I haven't rolled over a 10.
It's hard to tell. She answered pretty quickly. You're not certain. She says, oh no, I was checking up on them though, to see how they were faring. Kimosh, he accomplished his goal,
Did he?
but Bagamaya has not.
From where I'm standing, Kimosh has been banished back to the deep undersea he came from. The portal is closed, and he has no way to bring anything forth anymore.
All true.
Sounds like a failure to me.
Then you don't truly understand. But that's all right. You will.
Well, you know, if you wanted to prove your good faith, your change of heart, some information might be a good place to start.
And what do you have to pay for this information with?
I can think of a thing or two.
Are you going to make me guess?
Well, it's my turn to ask questions now, I believe.
She sips at her tea and waits.
So, what was it that the Bleak Theater wanted from you that you have accomplished?
2 tasks. Design the ritual the priests use to get them to the island. Then find a particular gateway.
Do I feel like the gateway she mentions has anything to do with the ritual itself? Or is she more referring to the gateway that we just saw at Kimosh?
You don't know? But she continues. She says, that is all you get. Unless you have something truly valuable to pay.
Not sure what a woman like you would want. You seem to have plenty already.
She just sips at her tea. And then she says, perhaps it is not about what I want. Perhaps it is about what you have.
Something tells me you're not after trinkets. And I'm not sure I want to give you anything that I actually care about.
Fair enough.
Now, if that's all, I would like to have my dog back. And if you could show me to the exit.
There is a price to pay to leave.
You said that.
Are you willing to pay?
Not without knowing what it is.
The price for you to leave has already been paid. And she pats Pantouf on the head.
No. You're not keeping my dog.
Oh no. But he agreed to pay the price.
What are you talking about?
He paid your toll. Already. While you were asleep, he agreed to it.
Yes. Of course you'd ask my dog, without asking me, to pay for a price on my head. And what is the price to get him back, I wonder?
Oh, I'm not keeping him. But
No, you're just forcing him to stay.
you can agree to pay the price. And he
Not
will be free to
without knowing what it is.
leave. Very simple. A small curse. Easily removed if you choose. Any cleric
Is
can do it.
Is she lying about this? God damn it!
So for this one, I will roll.
Oh wait. If she is lying, this counts as more because of my inquisitive thing. Because god damn it, I can't roll word shit. It's going to count as a 16
Okay.
instead of a 13.
So she will roll.
She has a cuckoo clock. That's definitely something a hag mother would have.
She's pretty good at lying.
That natural one is an 18.
Okay, I want to look around her place. I want to memorize as much details about the animals, about the place that she's in.
Cool. Make
I don't
an
know.
intelligence check.
Not very smart.
No, that
At
was
least
good. That's
15.
good. 15 is good. You can remember a lot of detail with 15.
A small curse easily removable. Doesn't sound like a very steep price.
Well, you're such pleasant company.
I'm sure.
Do you agree?
Oh, I don't want to lose my puppy. What's the curse?
Oh. That's all you get, dear.
And what's in it for you? I get cursed because I'm pleasant company.
Not you. And she keeps patting Pantouf.
Fuck. I want to go get my stuff and come back and kill her is what I want to do, but I don't want to leave my dog behind. He's such a good boy. All right. Fine. I'll take your curse.
Wonderful. And she gives him one last long scritch with her incredibly long nails, and you see these purple tendrils of energy extend out from her nails and leach into his fur. And
What are you doing? Stop it!
He starts to whimper, and she says, "Just a little curse."
The curse was for me,
And then
not
it's
for
done.
him.
And then she looks at Pantouf and she says, "Now you pay for her." And she gets out of her chair and sort of kneels down. And Pantouf sort of stands up, pads over to her, opens his jaws, clamps down on her neck, and starts to bite down. And she goes, "Quickly." And you hear a snap. And her head sort of lolls to one side. There's a whoosh of wind. And you see the entire room start to melt. Just drip, almost as if it was a painting that hadn't dried and someone threw water on it. In just a blink of an eye, the two of you are back in White Reef, floating in a passageway. She's nowhere to be seen. Pantouf is swimming beside you.
I'm gonna bring him closer. I'm gonna look at his face. I'm just... What the fuck? What did she do to you?
He looks at you and he cocks his head to one side and he goes, "I don't know."
Well, whatever the fuck she does, we're gonna undo it, okay? You're gonna be alright.
Okay, we can undo it.
I'm worried. I'm so worried.
Roll
We're gonna...
3d6 3 times.
Okay.
Have you guys always been able to talk, or is that new? Am I insane?
I mean, sometimes we have the mind thing.
That's what I'm missing. Okay.
I don't know. I've assumed that was it.
Oh no, he's talking out loud.
Oh!
He's Brian. Well, different Brian. Apparently that Brian.
You're... We don't have to spell. You're talking. Since when are you talking?
I've always talked.
No.
You just... When did you start being able to understand me?
It's gonna be okay, okay? I'm gonna fix it. I just didn't want to leave you with her. She seemed so awful, and I wasn't sure I could find a place again.
I didn't want to stay with her.
You know, I would have stabbed arrows into her heart and she passed, but well, I didn't have anything.
It's okay.
It's not okay.
Can we go home? I don't like it here in the wet place. Nothing smells right.
I know. We're leaving soon.
Okay.
This way. Let's just catch back up with the others first. Okay? It's gonna be okay. I'll just keep giving him scritches. My poor puppy. Ah, save me from myself. Somebody, please.
So, out of character,
Yes.
Pantouf has leveled.
Yay!
He has some new abilities you may want to check out.
3 of them kill everything that you love.
He's a warlock doggy now.
She thinks of Jacob as more of a friend.
Eldritch bark.
I wish I had thought of that.
That's amazing.
Okay, I'm gonna close it and reopen it because nothing changed on the
All
sheet,
right. So he's part giant, part fiend, as is the base trollhound, part celestial, and now part demon? Question mark? Fae?
It says on his sheet.
That's a whole lot of cultural melting pot and a dog.
All good boy.
Oh, yeah. 100% good.
Except the
Let's do the
percentage
best.
of him that is now evil.
Which is all of him.
Puppy. He's gotten tough. He's gotten very tough.
It's been working out.
It's a
Whoa.
great boy.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah. You
Waiting
speak
for her to get to the
Sylvan
bad
now? Okay.
This is the last sentence. Will eat you if you die. Oh, that's upsetting.
Oh. Oh.
Has the ability to cure depression.
Yes, literally, almost that.
Oh.
He's got some cool stuff. I'm still worried as all hell for my puppy. But
People
gotten some
that
cool
pet him for 5 minutes or more a day have a noticeably lower blood pressure.
Something like that.
And also fleas. Fae fleas.
They teleport.
I thought about giving him infestation.
Oh, that is cool though. He's got some cool new stuff. And he's gotten big and strong. Also, he's now parts of lots of things. Poor puppy.
So
all that lady did was help you, is what I'm hearing.
I don't understand why my dog needs to be able to lie. Something is wrong. Okay? My dog does not need +7 to deception.
well,
Okay. Just look at the tail. It's like an indicator.
when he tells you that you haven't fed him yet and you think you have, he needs to be able to roll deception.
Oh.
I suppose that's fair.
I haven't eaten in
worry.
days.
Exactly.
I literally just fed you. Okay, so much
You're
of this
eating
curse,
now. The bowl is under you.
but he leveled, so I guess that's good. I'm still worried about my poor pupper. Also, if we see that hag again, I'm killing her. But that's really cool.
So you're pretty sure he killed her.
Yeah.
I know, but she's a weird ag creature, and I'm pretty sure she might not be really dead.
Yeah.
So I think her plan for not fulfilling her contract was having the dog kill her to send her back to the... That's my headcanon.
I'm thinking her dying removes her from her contract so that she can run around and fuck us in the mouth.
Or at least not do what the Glee Theater wants her to. She's the loophole master. She's been to court. You told her she's never been to court, but she wrote the book.
Tira, you and Pantouf arrive back in a passageway in White Reef. roughly.
Yeah,
It's hard to tell how much time has passed when you arrive back. But as you head back towards the arena, you arrive just as Lodeg is being beaten unconscious.
I probably will not even notice. I'm a little frazzled, and I'm petting my dog. I'm just gonna walk towards my friends as I do. Guys, something really weird just happened.
Yeah,
How
I'm never
weird.
getting that dagger back, am I?
really expected Lodeg to win.
I just got kidnapped by an old ag mother demon, and she did something to Patouf, and now we can talk.
She smelled like lavender.
What?
Lavender.
I probably
we
wasn't
understand
taking this seriously until Pontouf started talking.
that? We understood Pantouf.
Mm-hmm. Perfectly.
Oh.
And
I mean, we are underwater watching a duel between a lizard man and a fish man. Is it really that?
yes, it is. She did something to him, and she put some purple in him, and I'm worried.
And now he can talk?
Let me take a
So-
look at him.
I've been talking the whole time.
Now we
Yes.
understand.
Yes.
Yes, but now you're speaking in a language, and probably all those times that I was humoring you, you thought I was being cruel.
You were being.
Who's your good boy?
Can Jacob do a Arcana check to see
Yeah.
if there's something different about Pantouf?
Can
Roll
I
Arcana.
assist him or cast Identify on him?
Can I listen to the fact he's talking and identify that that's weird and different?
Yes to everything.
What do you want to do, Tony? Do you want me to roll again, or do you want to?
I will assist you.
So roll again.
Ah, blah!
That's okay, because mine involves no roll.
So,
Oh.
Jacob, you know that there's a kind of magic that some like druids or bards maybe have access to that can give give plants or animals intelligence. You aren't really familiar with it. You don't know exactly all the details.
Patouf has been awakened.
You don't know how long it lasts or what's going on here exactly, but that's your best guess. You're not sure.
Huh. Well, I mean, yeah, he's like this for now, which I don't see a downside.
You weren't there. You don't understand. She was the worst. She was super manipulative and snobby, and she was just guiding the conversation everywhere she wanted it to go. And she was the one with the bleak theater. She said that she helped them design the ritual to bring everybody there, and she helped them find a gateway. I think she was talking about the one underwater here, and she said that that Kimok was successful. She was really arrogant about all of it. Also, she was super rude. It's not like I meant to walk into her place. She literally baited my dog.
Well, I believe you. I'm trying to find the angle she was going. Fortunately, I don't see
She was
how
really
she benefits from.
creepy. She was really creepy. She cursed him, and then she said something about a price, and she had Pantouf kill her. But I don't know if she's really dead.
I mean, she felt dead.
Pantouf. Huh.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy. Did she? Oh, this is odd. Did she ever? Did she say anything before that Tira didn't hear?
Well, so it's hard to remember. She said something about Tira never being able to leave unless I helped her, and I said I was always going to help Tira.
Oh, I just give him all those creatures. Your puppy. There, that's better. I'm
So-
rolling so many ones.
We can understand Pontiff now. The hag mother is dead, and she gave you information, is what I'm hearing.
I feel manipulated.
I mean, you've been to court, right?
I have, which is
Then
why I
you
feel
should
so
know the
gross.
It's
It feels gross.
I think that's
Feels like
'cause
talking to your mother.
I think that's because we're in the water.
yeah,
It is
no.
kind of slimy deep down.
It's also feeling like you went to court. No, it's a fair assessment. It's
I just want to go back, at least out of the water.
all right. Well, let's.
At least to a court where people treat me with respect.
Because they have to, or because they want to?
Little bit
It's
of
court.
both.
Does it matter?
Not really. Speaking of which, Pontouf, did anyone treat you particularly well at my manor? Or, I don't know, kick you?
No, they were all real nice.
Okay, raises for them then. I'm gonna go find us a ride. I'm gonna sell this candle.
Hey, Pantouf.
So as you're all talking, you see. Sorry to cut
I'm
you off.
distracted completely from Lodeg losing.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Logan's just on the ground. While talking to a dog.
You see him getting carted away by medics.
He's fine. They're gonna take good care of him. He's a champion.
In this situation, Lodeg is like the dog, and then we bring in a baby in the house, and everybody ignores the dog and pays attention to the baby.
Jacob's assuring us he's fine, but the medics are like, nope, that's it. Pull the plug.
No,
The difference is Lodeg might eat us in her sleep.
no. Queen Namura comes over and tells you all that that they're gonna see to Lodeg and make sure that he's healed, but that the feast, if you want, is still on. If not, they do still want to present you with honors for rescuing her, and
Yeah,
then,
of course.
Then she will see to returning you to the mainland if that's what you choose.
That all sounds great. We could use a little R&R, right, team?
Yes. Also, Your Majesty, do you happen to have any clerics that might be good with curses? Identifying them, removing them, by any chance?
We can do that.
That would be great. I would just like them to have a quick look at my dog, and maybe at me too. I feel dirty.
Sure.
And if you don't mind, my queen, could you point me in the direction of your head of
Head of
trade?
So she will make arrangements for you to meet with ministers. And so, first, though, do you want to continue the feast, or are you looking to get out of town quickly? Is sort of what she was asking.
We're thinking quickly.
I think we
Yeah.
probably under the gun here, so to speak.
Okay, so she will essentially arrange a going away ceremony for you as you're boarding the transport back to the island. The Minister of Trade will be there, their religious leaders, and so on, to take care of all of this for you.
Teresa was in a mood for a feast until she got, a meeting with a hag. She wasn't too keen for it after a while.
So you all are escorted essentially to the same overlook by the trench where you were taken on your tour. Lodeg is brought up a couple of minutes later. And
Still passed out.
no. He has been patched up and healed. Both he and Leona should be at full health.
Oh yeah, I'm dead on the screen, aren't I?
And so first thing I gotta whisper. Hang on.
Wow, I was really close to dying in that last fight.
So the Leona, in downtime, we'll work out what you want to work out with the trade.
Yeah, I figured we could just breeze over it.
Yeah. They essentially will work with you to set up trade. This is some stuff they have done before. The one thing that they ask is that the metal tube not come near their land, not come near their city.
What do they mean by the metal tube? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The submarine, I thought is what they were talking about.
It hurts the dreamer's ears.
Oh no.
And so they ask that it not. That
Yeah,
they
and-
would prefer that it be disassembled, but they ask that it not come near the reef.
Well, did Wilfred leave it to anyone?
Probably Tira
Who knows?
gave her the keys.
We gotta find out what his will is. Just a short thing. I would give them the candle, the only other, candle, as a sign of good faith.
Roll persuasion. You have advantage.
You're doing this all wrong, Austin. You're not going to trade candles for pearls. You trade them cheese. They can't get cheese down here.
I'm really happy I had advantage on that.
Okay. They tell you that they look forward to continuing the negotiations at your manor, which they are very pleased to hear is a riverfront estate.
I'm looking forward to trading driftwood for pearls and gold. That sounds
Cheese, Austin. They can't get it.
cheese. Oh man, we gotta feed them all the surface food.
I just like that Elric's there going like, one word, Leona. Cheese.
Tira,
Yes.
the clerics are when they approach, they are wearing these ornate breastplates made out of coral that you can see has been grown into shape and into specific designs that you believe represent their particular orders, although you are unfamiliar with them. And they first approach you and start chanting and they take your hands. One of them presses their webbed fins to your temples, and they inform you that they detect no curses on you. But they perform a restoration on you anyway, just to be sure. You feel a warm glow throughout your body. There's no real effect because there was no curse, but they do it to be polite.
I feel better already. It's the placebo effect.
Then they do something similar with Pantouf. They examine him, and they begin chanting, and they, after a few moments, they come back to you, and they say that there is a curse on him. It seems to be fey in origin, from what they can tell, and very powerful. It seems to be permanent, unless it is removed, and they can remove it.
They can or they can't?
They can, positive, remove it.
Okay.
They feel like it will take away his ability to speak and perhaps some of his other uniqueness. It is up to you. They don't sense any harm from the curse.
You sure? No arm at all. He's okay. He's just.
There's a hag in there.
It's gonna hatch like an egg, and she's just gonna come out like, "Hello!"
Like a freaking alien.
But she's gonna be like 24 now, and not like 78.
But he's just got such cool stuff. Em doesn't want to remove the curse, but Tira is kind of not cool with it.
Just roll a d2.
She'll just look to Pantouf. She'll just bring his big face close. So, how do you feel about this, Pantouf? Do you want to keep being able to talk, or do you want us to remove everything and anything she did to you?
Well, I like to be able to talk to you, and I like to talk to Jacob and Lodeg and Torg and Leona. It's nice talking to all of them.
I cough loudly.
Bronte's like, I said what I meant to.
Well, here's what we're gonna do, okay, buddy? If anything ever feels weird or not good, or you don't like it anymore, you tell me immediately, and we're gonna find a cleric and remove it, okay?
Okay. And if I ever get mean, you can take it away without asking. Is that okay?
That sounds like a good deal.
Okay.
I'm just worried about you.
Just so you're aware, I have the ability of greater restoration. If I get out into the sun again, I can do it. So, I'll save some charges on my Sunheart medallion here. And, if things go bad, we'll take care of it quick.
Okay.
Okay, so Pantouf, I need you to tell me if you don't feel right.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so if you're not feeling like the good boy you are, all right.
I can do that.
Oh, do our best.
Very brave. You're very brave.
Also,
Worried a little.
Pantouf,
really
I have a very important question. Of the group, besides Tira, who is your favorite?
Elric's
Right? That makes sense.
Have I ever noticed him in the past, like, tormenting my cat?
You may have seen them playing, and it made you even angrier at your
Yeah,
cat.
that has the reverse effect.
You just threw like a cup of water at it. You're drinking, you're just...
Sprayed him with the garden hose.
I bet Elric is mad that he doesn't have his cat just so he can't put it in the water with us.
I punch a catfish on the way out.
Oh, in the mouth.
Okay, well, I will take the clerics for their help, but we're gonna leave it like that for now, because that's what he wants. And thank you very much.
So as you are getting ready to leave, Queen Numora and Baron Nomax step forward. The Baron is holding what looks like a fish tank, almost, except it's a clear glass fish bowl, essentially.
Wow.
Except the bottom half of it seems to be filled with mud. I wish that Trent was here, because this is really for Lodeg. He goes up to Lodeg and he says, "You have learned to fight with this," and he sort of touches Lodeg on the arm, and he goes, "And with this," and he touches him on the chest, and he goes, "When you learn to fight with this," and he points at his own head and then at Lodeg's head, he says, "then we can fight again." And he hands him the like fishbowl and a little tiny, almost like set of tongs. And that's it.
Guys, this is so weird. Is this like a thing lizards do?
I don't. There's something edible in there. I'm sure.
It's for food. It's tongs for food. Picking up.
But what if it's for eggs? You know, I think lizards and fish both lay eggs.
Who would hand load egg tongs? Like, why don't you just try putting pants on a cat?
He never
So-
even eats with a fork.
So out of character, because hopefully Trent will listen to this. In the fishbowl is a Sahuagin delicacy.
Oh.
It is
How much you want to bet it's going to be gross?
Kittens.
incredibly gross. It is a flatfish that lives in the mud, and it can sense movement and vibrations. And so Lodag will have to think and move very slowly to catch it. But if he can catch it, eat it whole and alive, it will live in his belly.
Ew.
Okay.
While it is alive in his belly, he will be able to, when he is not moving and not raging, have a 15-foot tremor sense.
Nice.
I
Interesting.
thought it was just going to keep him from gaining weight, you know, like a tapeworm.
I designed a news monster that did this, except it killed you from the inside.
But then Queen Nomura steps forward and she says, I wish we had more that would be of value to surfacers.
We're glad we were able to help you.
Take these. We understand they are of use to people on the surface, and there are chests, just a couple of chests of gems and pearls brought forward. They would be embarrassing if you guys worried about money anymore.
Yeah.
Thank you, Queen.
I throw myself onto the chest. Oh, magic.
But then she says, several months ago, I found myself underneath your island, exploring some tunnels, hoping to find a passageway. I was lost for a while, but I made my way back out. While I was there, I found this. We cannot make use of it here, although it does have some magical properties. You, she looks at Tyria, your armor reminded me of it. So, hopefully you can use it and make use of it. And she hands you a 3-foot-tall white marble statue of a bird.
Oh, motherfucker.
Super cute. Jacob, what is this? I know it's a bird.
It's
You don't remember what that is?
it's called a seagull.
I'll give you a keyword. Orcs.
I'm going to give you another keyword.
Oh.
Minerals.
Yeah, does Torgazel recognize?
Yeah, that's a good keyword. Come on.
Yeah, Torgazel immediately recognizes it.
That's the white rock.
That is
The giant
that
one?
is a very generous gift. Thank you very much, Your Majesty.
Well, I guess the bird can't exactly be summoned here.
We're not going to summon the bird here.
Well, that just means that they have no use for it.
But we could go to the surface and then poof.
Oh man, this is like Final Fantasy when you get the airship.
So, once you identify it, you will understand its properties. I'm going to go ahead and show them to you.
Does anyone remember the keyword from like a long time?
Let's see. It's the kind of shit I would have noted down, but maybe I did not. I don't. See, at the starting, when I remembered the dates, I wrote the day and the months and the year. That was a very long time ago, and I have stopped doing that somewhere along the line. I'm looking through my notes to see if we still have the word of power.
All I remember is it turns into a throne or a bird.
I remember the rock.
Aralar, the wind. No, that's not it. This was earlier, I think. Academy. No. Oh, look, you guys died. You died on June 15th.
Good times.
So, he should have the pop-up, though, with all that info.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he can turn into an eagle whenever,
Mm-hmm.
but the rock only once a week.
Mm-hmm.
And only
That's
2
cool.
transformations a day, regardless of what forms they are.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That is really cool. That's right, kitty.
So, once all these presentations have been done, various dignitaries have been met. Thank you for saving the queen.
Mm-hmm.
She turns and steps towards the rift, the large trench that opens into the plane of elemental water. And she starts to sing. And you hear a rumbling. And you feel tremors, not in the ground, but in the water all around you.
I check Lodek's stomach.
He is looking into the bowl, into the glass fish bowl, trying to figure out. He's holding the little tongs. He's trying to, Mr. Miyagi.
Trying to get his head
fly.
inside.
Yeah. And a few moments later, rising up over the
Back
edge
from
of
the
this
streets.
overlook,
I was singing the same thing.
you see an eye.
Oh.
The eye itself, just the eye of this creature, is easily 20 feet high as the creature rises up out of the trench. The queen turns back to you and says, "We will take you to your island."
Thank you.
Does Lodek need to roll like persuasion to see if he can get a piece of that thing to eat?
He is going to roll wisdom
To see if it's smart to ask.
to
He's
see
one
if
of
he
those in
doesn't
the sky. He doesn't.
to see if he doesn't immediately drop everything and just go and try and bite it.
The fish tank you just got breaks on the ground. The flatfish
Fish
swims.
dies.
Yeah, he starts to move forward towards it,
Lodek, no.
and Baron Nomex literally just reaches out a big hand and says, "No, it's not the time."
Lodek, no.
As the creature rises up, the entire court, all of the nobility who are there with you to say goodbye, start swimming upward. And you see, you are drawn up with them, almost in their wake, and bubbles start to form around you. Air within the bubbles. And these bubbles attach to the side of the large creature. Then the bubbles move together to form into almost like a single crystalline chamber on the creature's back. Queen Namora comes forward and she says, "This is Leviathan. When I was taken, I sent him away. so that in the madness inspired by Kimash, I would not order him to do something I would regret. The creature swims quickly, faster than you would believe possible, but the magic that is holding these crystalline bubbles in place keeps any water pressure away from you, and the ride is smooth. The queen asks where you would like to land on the island. So I'm going to move you all to the map again so you can decide.
We're doing in the port, right?
Yeah, I think the port is, especially now that we have an airship, I mean a giant rock to fly on.
I remember this thing was fast, wasn't it? Didn't we get from like
Super
Mount
fast.
Rolnath to
'Cause we're
the
under
port in
time
like an hour?
constraints. Yeah.
And, once we have used its properties, maybe we can use it for peace with the orcs.
Don't
Yeah,
need it
because
right
the
now.
other orc tribe won this timeline, right?
You
They're
I think we're
not
friends
white.
with the elves.
You were uncertain, but the orcs did go to war against the humans and elves.
Yeah, so we're gonna fly it around for a bit, borrow their ride, and then bring it back to them. And
Maybe
they're
if we
gonna
don't get
take
power hungry.
us. Yeah. No, I'm gonna have to bring it back. This is why it's mine. It's my ride. But yeah, I think the port might be best for now. Resupply, check on things, and then we will borrow this ride and look for the kingdom of the dwarves, the place of the dwarves. Leona, help me out here. What is this place called? It's like a mountain.
city.
Oh, yes, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Okay.
Before we leave,
Mm-hmm.
can I summon my invisible stalker
Mm-hmm.
and attempt to have him steal the dagger back?
So Baron Nomex is riding with all of you on...
I did not realize he was going with us.
He's part of the court because he's an ambassador. And
I'll do it in Port Dare then.
yeah, and he is very ostentatiously wearing the dagger.
You might notice.
So the journey takes 15, 20 minutes at the speed
Jesus.
this creature is going. But as it enters Valfor Bay, it slows and mostly so as to not flood the port when it arrives. And you arrive back in Port Dare quickly, safely, and quietly.
Now, Brian, just real quick, approximately how much money do I think that we have?
Do you need money?
We have lots of money. You just have to ask.
Right.
Right.
So,
I mean, there's,
Eldrick, I'll
yeah.
give you as much as you need within reason.
so I would say you have upwards of 15,000 gold worth of gems.
Okay, I'm gonna need a lot of that, but I'll get back to you guys.
Okay. The Leviathan arrives, and it doesn't enter where the piers are in dockside. Instead, it surfaces just south of the keep. And when it surfaces, it is late afternoon. The nearing sunset. The rays of the sun are getting long, and when it surfaces, you see guards on the walls of the keep shouting in alarm and start running. The bubbles on the which had all formed into a single crystalline sphere on the back of the Leviathan begin splitting apart and rising up towards the keep. The queen says, "Your guards seem a bit surprised.
Yeah, we probably should have sent word. I don't think they were expecting, this. And things have been a little on the rocky side in town.
It's all right. I understand. But you see your father mount the walls. He appears coming out of a door, running up the walls, taking charge. And when he sees you floating in one of these bubbles,
I wave.
and the dog, he begins shouting at the guards, and the two nearby, he pushes their crossbows down. You notice none of the guards are wearing the black masks.
Excellent.
And Queen Namora and her court all arrive on the walls, the bubbles popping. Thank you. And within moments, Seema likewise has joined you on the roof, and she is greeting Queen Namora. Somehow Seema is wearing very formal court attire when you've found that normally during the day she's wearing nice clothing, but not formal, like state dinner level attire. But somehow in moments she has changed to receive an embassy from the head of a foreign state. Mm-hmm. And she is inviting the queen down to, to show her and her entourage to quarters and offering to prepare any special arrangements they need and everything. And your father comes up and greets you and gives you a big hug. And
I'll give him a big hug. This is a bit crazy. Also, city underwater. That was super impressive. I'll just tell him everything, how we rode whales and a giant leviathan and we fought giant sharks and there may have been a portal opening to a deep down underwater sea of devil sharks, but we're supposed to have closed that. I'll just tell him everything. It's going to take minutes.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'm there, but, slip in trade agreements and how I expect to cut if I'm to help. Usher that for the city. Cough, cough.
Okay. He will welcome you all and thank you all for your help. And he'll say, "It seems like you've been busy. That is...
Yeah.
So it is done then."
Ish. Yeah, there's still a lot to do, but yeah, we've managed to stop that one at least. And yes, took care of, I'm drawing a blank on her name, which is not usually like me. Let me just go back and find the name. Shariah, thank you.
I always remember Rohit because he reminds me of Coheed and Cameron.
Yes, I know you would have probably preferred that we take her alive, but unfortunately, Shariah's dead. Things happened. It was a very chaotic thing, this whole fight. On the positive side, I found something that we need right now, but that could definitely help us with the orcs after. And I'll take out the figurine that we got. Maybe it might not be the same in this time, but in the other time, the orcs, they were really fond of this. It was like, not a god, but almost.
That is very good. And
we need to borrow it first, though.
We will speak of it over dinner.
Sounds good.
Your friends, the strange ship crew, brought back Shariah's body. So we were aware. Good. And we had word from the mainland. Their father, who was the head of this little rebellion, is also dead.
Good.
Padma killed him in a duel.
She did?
Yes, gutted him like a fish.
Ha! I'll teach him.
So
no, he's not going to learn any.
Yes, no more trials, unfortunately.
Well, so accidents happen.
But
well, that'll, serve as a lesson for anybody else.
He will catch up with you and You know, it feels like conversation, but somehow he's able to draw almost a full report from you.
Yeah, I tell him everything.
Yeah. And Pantouf starts interjecting as well with his observations, and your dad just stops in his tracks.
And oh, sorry.
And he looks at the dog and he says, "Has he always been able to do that?"
According to him, yes, but we couldn't listen. And I'll tell him a bit about the ag and how unpleasant it all was, and how trapping it felt, and how I couldn't just leave him behind. And now he's a little different, but the priest said that there shouldn't be anything harmful in it. And he says he likes it, so I kind of feel bad taking it away from him.
Well, I trust you.
Hopefully I won't regret it.
Jacob, you feel a shiver run down your spine.
Oh.
Uh-oh, your girlfriend is back.
As
She's mad.
Stepping out of the shadows is a figure. She merely steps up behind you 1 inch closer than is comfortable and stands perfectly still. I think, is Larry there? He's muted.
He's too scared to respond.
He gave a BRB.
Super in character.
Maybe he's not there.
Need some teeth clackling, like Scooby-Doo style.
Okay, we'll get back to him. So they're going to receive Queen Namora. There will be an impromptu state dinner, but Namora and her people aren't looking to stay for a long extended visit, mostly because dry land. And you are all occupied the rest of the evening with that. But the next day, you are free to go about your business. If there's anything you would like to do that evening at the, before or after the dinner or during, let me know.
I do, but it's all like shopping.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know if
I
you
have
want to do
also
that
a
off
little
screen,
bit of shopping in mind.
or I could just give you the summary.
I was expecting that there would be some shopping before you guys headed out. So
Excellent.
let's do this.
Potions. That is all I'm looking for.
I need 1,500 gold of ruby dust. I need that.
So
I need a new statue of myself.
you can easily find the ruby dust just by getting the rubies that are in the chests you have and hitting
Nice.
them with a hammer.
I will help you hit them with hammers.
Thank you. I am fragile. I need 3,000 gold of ruby dust total.
Mhm.
So we hit a bunch of rubies. Check and check. And then
I can make you a statue worth that amount of gold, by the way.
Can you?
I have all the dimensions that the lady took.
I would like that.
You don't want to go visit the sculptor again?
So that's actually been a worry for me because the card said I lose like all property rights too, didn't it?
I thought it said like land rights.
Land and titles. I don't.
So you would lose land, you would lose title, like nobility titles.
Yeah, I'll check in, see what she's got going on. See how the I don't have a pun for this, and I'm really upset.
I definitely need to go with you for the statue lady. She's my favorite.
And I also need snow.
Need snow?
I need snow.
Like
Snow.
Oh, I know why you need snow.
You-
Dirty mother.
You will be going to the mountains before too long.
Are you talking about drugs?
Talking about a spell that
You
starts
spice?
with an S.
You spice?
I'm a seasoned adventurer, Tony. Of course I spice.
So, anyone else want to do any shopping?
I'd like to try and find a map that locates Narborg.
Okay. So potions are pretty easy to find. Regular healing potions.
Can I find anything
Beefier.
better? Yeah.
So make an investigation.
Investigate. Oh, I have been rolling so poorly. I will pick up like 4 regular healing potions. Just bring me back to 5.
Okay.
I asked them to put them on the tab. Send the bill to the palace, please.
So you do find one. You hear word in the marketplace of one potion vendor who, after the attempted failed coup, potions are in short supply. You're able to find plenty of regular healing potions, but there's only one potion vendor who seems to have
The good stuff.
the good stuff. He is working out of the Brass Minotaur Inn. And when you find him there, his name is Quintus. He's human. He looks old. He's got like wispy hair, and he wears a pointy hat, and he walks all stooped over. And he seems to be like an ex-adventurer type. And he smells like an alchemist. You know, he's definitely got like powder burns on his clothing and whatnot. When you find him, roll a d4.
A D4. All right. Let's see. Come on.
Come out.
Hey, 3.
He has 3 greater healing potions.
Excellent. I take a lot.
Okay, those. Well, you don't care about money anymore. He
I ask him to send the bill to my dad.
Yeah, and he will. And let's see. Oh, he also, since you are the princess, he tells you he has an experimental potion.
Experimental.
Oh,
He says that he's 93% certain that it works, and only 12% that it would, have no effect whatsoever.
And what about the other percent? There doesn't seem to be 100% in there.
Well, I mean, that's more than 100%. So you're getting your money's worth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Maths.
But when he holds up the bottle, it glows. It literally lights in a small area around the bottle, and it is this pearly pink potion.
And if it works, what is it supposed to do exactly?
He says, I don't know. But nothing that looks like that does anything bad.
Do I feel like he's telling the truth? I am very judgmentally.
Make an insight check. He seems down on his luck, right? And you get a glimpse into like his salesman case, and this does look like his last special potion. He's out of the high-end healing potions. He's got a few regular potions left of healing. And he looks, kind of shabby, and You get the feeling that he's trying to make a sale, but he doesn't seem to be dishonest about it. This looks experimental, like he was trying to come up with something and he doesn't know exactly what it does.
All right. Well, you know what? This is interesting, and this is good, and this works. Could give in a good word for you. Maybe help you find more, steady supplies, a good customer base. If this is terrible, though, I will be very displeased. But I'll take it.
I'd expect nothing less. Thank you so much. Quintus. And he starts to tip his hat and realizes he doesn't wear one.
Thank you, Quintus. I will let you know how it went.
Okay. So then Elric...
Well,
Oh, wait, sorry. We're going to hop back to Larry.
Oh, yes.
Hello, sorry.
It's all right. While you were all at the castle, Larry, you felt a cold shiver up your spine. And stepping out of the shadow was a familiar, pale figure who wordlessly merely stepped behind you, perhaps 1 inch closer than is normally comfortable.
I'm sorry. That entire encounter where you got severely hurt did not go the way that I had thought it was going to go. I really didn't mean for that to happen, and then we had to run across the ocean, and it was, not my intention to be out of your purview for so very long. I do apologize.
She seems to be staring blankly at a spot just past your shoulder.
Fair enough. Well, I'll look. Do I see anything over my shoulder?
Just empty wall.
No. Okay.
But
well, if you...
She continues, as you move about the castle and go about your day, she continues to maintain like a bodyguard position behind you. Just continues to make you even more uncomfortable.
I do hope you can forgive me for that. Oh, man. Yeah, Jacob's just gonna keep going.
Okay. All right. So.
Oh wait. Actually, wait. Can Jacob roll insight? I always forget to roll insight into how pissed she is.
Yeah, absolutely.
you don't need an insight check for that.
Man, I am rolling 14s. I have such a good bonus to that.
Let me see. Okay, so what you get is she almost seems like a carved piece of marble, and she radiates cold. You instead, as she's standing just a little close, you almost feel heat.
Oh, that's evil.
So Leona and Elric, you make your way to the statuary. As you step inside, you see a large Goliath woman with a shaven head. As she has her back to you, she seems to be negotiating with another client. This is an older woman. She's plump. She seems to be wearing nice clothing, upper class, but not necessarily nobility. But when you both enter, the older woman looks around the Goliath sculptress, and seeing Elric, lets out a little and the sculptor turns around and says, "Oh yes, the model has arrived for another session. Would you care, perhaps, to watch me work? And the older woman turns 8 shades of red and then purple and grabs her coin purse and flees. And then the sculptor turns around and says,
Still,
there, now we have some privacy. What I can do for you?
Oh, well, I had seen the devices last time I came through. I suppose I just wanted to see how my likeness was living up to expectations.
Good. New Etin model. Very popular.
Got it. Right. That's
interesting.
ingenious. I would really need to see this in action. Anyways,
Which head?
it doesn't matter, I suppose.
It's an appropriate question.
But I did want to know. It apparently, my last likeness of myself was destroyed by magic. Would you have time on your schedule to create another one for me?
She goes into her back room. She comes out with a case. It is wooden. The wood, though, is mottled. It's some strange, exotic kind of wood. The colors are yellow and green, and it's polished to an incredible shine. There's these bronze fittings on all the corners and beautiful hinges, a latch on the front. She sits it down in front of you, and she lifts the latch, opens the lid, and inside you see velvet lining and space for 5, but only 4 more of exactly these ivory statuettes. She says, you would like only one?
Just one. And I look at the case, all the prep work into preserving them, the quality of detail, and I just give her a smile and say, I knew you liked me.
I like the money rich people pay to shove you up their twats.
I just say, I love you too.
I love this shop.
Is Jacob there?
He can be.
Okay. Jacob wants to ask. Who made that lovely case for the statues?
That was me. I make everything.
You made it.
I only one in shop.
You made it. Okay. Jacob writes down on a piece of paper and slides the paper over to her. On it, it says, would you by chance, perhaps, I suppose, be able to make a very nice and lovely coffin and he writes down like an exorbitant amount of money.
She starts to read it, and she says, you know,
Write it down.
she looks at you and she goes, you know, I cannot read.
Okay.
Can I see
Elric,
that paper?
yeah.
Jacob?
Yeah.
All right, would you please leave?
Okay, thank you. Jacob leaves.
He wants a coffin made and expertly decorated.
You know, last coffin maker in town was Slaver.
I thought the last coffin maker had secretly housing vampires. Maybe that's one of my stories.
You read a lot of fiction.
I have a ship that I am interested in maintaining.
But whatever number he wrote here is arbitrary. Would you mind making a coffin, or is it beneath you?
I don't mind as long as it is not beneath me.
Oh man, that's good.
Come back 2 weeks.
Did you need anything else, Elric?
No.
Good, then get
Same
fuck
price
out of
as
shop.
Before I haven't paid for it.
Don't worry. Don't worry about it. I'll pay for it and the coffin.
Yes.
I think I have a tab.
I add said things. Question, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Do you by any chance still do most of your prep work in the copy and then copy stuff over
Yeah.
of the game?
I do.
After this, I just overwrote my character sheet because Roll20 is designed by fucking children.
Okay.
I was wondering if I could.
I do have a copy of your character sheet. I think it was before you leveled last.
That's fine. It would still be easier to
Okay.
work from there. Okay, thanks. Sorry to interrupt the session, Bob.
That's all right. I'll probably do it after the session. If that's
Yeah,
okay.
that's cool.
Cool.
I was just reading the rock thing, and I realized that the saddle on it can only accommodate 5 medium-sized creature. And I'm looking at our extended family here. From memory, do I remember if maybe we could, I don't know, make some harnesses that we could tie on to carry? Is it a weight thing or a space thing?
Make
Is my question.
a history check. Also, was there anything else? Map.
And a handy haversack or a bag of holding,
Okay.
And a scroll of continual flame if we can find one.
which I believe, though, all those things would probably be at the same place, excluding the map.
Wilfred's.
We're just robbing Wilfred's shop?
So,
Is that what we're doing?
Tira,
Is it-
you remember that the orcs in the old timeline had made essentially these like hot air balloon baskets. And the rock picked them up in its claws and flew with them. So there were 5 people above in the saddle, and it could carry more in a basket. like
That's
hot air.
right. In this case, I'm gonna commission a basket that needs to be able to fit 1 large puppy and at least 2 people. One of them may be alive.
Okay. I need you to make an investigation to find someone who can make said basket. Okay, we'll get back to that
How
in a second.
much would that basket be worth, Brian?
It depends.
I know that's a weird question, but if it's 100 gold, I can just make that in an hour.
So yeah, you could definitely make it.
Okay.
I just complained to Leona. I have looked all around the town to find somebody who could make me a stupid basket. Nobody understands what I'm talking about. It's ridiculous. We're never going to be able to fit Pantoufle on this bird. You remember how not that large it was? Well, I mean, the bird was big, but the saddle was terrible. What am I going to do? Woe is me.
Woe is me. I'm sorry, I'm very busy right now. Rich things. Could you come back in like an hour and a half?
I wear my best are you fucking kidding me face.
Sorry,
She's got
I'm
new
busy.
toys.
I've got an Eldritch shaped thing that I need to take care of.
Ugh. You do remember that I'm a princess, right?
Have you seen the statue in my courtyard? It's
I'll raise your
hilarious.
taxes.
I'll buy your castle.
So
I love being rich.
Buy my castle.
I'll go make the thing.
okay, you can make the basket.
Can I make it like a gondola style thing? Not a gondola. What am I thinking of?
Yeah, a gondola, like a ski gondola that goes up the wires between like the ski slopes?
I'm thinking of the fancy like Chinese baskets that people not pull like a rickshaw, but like carry around. What am I thinking?
Oh, I know the word, and now I've lost it. But I know what you're talking about. Okay, so anyway, those of you who are looking for map, scroll of continual flame, and what else?
So I want to take as many supplies for the dwarves that are, I'm assuming, under siege or in hiding as I can. So I wanted a bag of holding or a handy haversack, or
Gotcha.
both, or multiples of each.
So, there. Make an investigation check for that.
As for the map, I was going to look for one at home.
Okay. And where are you going to look for the scroll of continual flame?
I think that was you, Tony.
Sorry, I was trying to revert my character sheet. Sorry, say again.
Where are you going to look for the scroll of continual flame?
I would like to. I just read what it was called. It's the guild that was originally run by the elf, the Luminary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would like to go to the Luminary.
It's funny you mention him.
Well, it's a whole guild name, right?
Well, I wanted to see if Torgazel could go over there and see if he could find some better armor. Wait, did he only make weapons?
Lumari, thank you.
Sorry.
So, Torgazel can go and look for armor in the marketplace.
Okay.
The Lumari are enchanters. So that's where you would go to look for scrolls or for bags of holding, that sort of thing. Then
That brand pitch.
yeah. Then there are people in the marketplace who sell weapons and armors and whatnot. You head to the marketplace, and the guild hall, there's a merchant guild hall where most of the guilds have offices and shops and whatnot. It's essentially like a mall. Whereas the rest of the market district are where individual shops are. This is where the official one guild shop plus the guild offices are. And you can find the Lumari. They're very, very prominent. And they do offer for sale scrolls. But unfortunately, Leona, they do not have any bags of holding. They refer you to a gentleman in the dock district.
That sounds shady. I'm into it.
Mm-hmm.
I put on my incognito outfit with the weird nose.
That outfit is the worst.
It is the worst.
Okay. And
While Leona's not there, I also want to break into her place and look for the barding that had been made for Pantouf.
cool.
That was left there, I think.
There are instructions
Spoiled
just to
rich
let
kid.
you people in. You do not have
I
to.
break in anyways, just so that I don't get rusty. I may have broken a window. I don't really care.
Do you take Pantouf with you?
Yeah. I enter without a problem, but then he has to break a window to enter, and we're just
You're
like,
just
oh, no.
outside trying to lift his ass up high enough to get through the window.
Well, actually, when you get there and you start to break into the window, he goes, "There's a key. Leona keeps it under the
Yeah.
lock. right there.
I know, but it's not about the key.
It's about the journey.
Well, the servants have a secret door right over here, and he goes over and he there's a small pump where you can pump water outside, and he lifts one of his big paws and pushes down on the pump, and you see a section of wall slide aside, and he goes, "We can go in there."
Okay, because it's a secret. But if I really wanted to just walk in, I could. But you're such a good boy. I'm pleased that he's so good, and I pet him. But at the same time, I'm disappointed because I didn't get to break one of her windows, even after she just brushed me off and my requests.
If I'm gone at this point, the thing is already made. It's just in the yard.
Okay, so
You did not say yes. The problem is there.
hang on, I'm looking some things up.
I just love that Tira got an upgraded amazing good boy, and Jacob has an even angrier vampire that is just he's trying to go to the bathroom and it's like, can I get oh no.
Have you tried commanding her to be friendly with you?
I'm worried what would happen with that.
So
You gotta be careful what you wish for.
He also feels guilty too, so there's just a mixture of there's just a sad Jacob walking around. It's so fun.
excellent, I found it. Okay. Let's see, where was I? Elric, you were able to purchase a scroll of continual light from the Lumari.
Cool. I will get to work and make Lodag an amulet or something this evening.
Okay.
I mean, I do have a torch of continual flame.
I don't want him to have to hold anything. I just figure he can bring it out of his gambeson. When he wants light, he can put it away when he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Leona, you are directed to the dock district and told to look for a store called the Black Lotus.
Okay.
When you get there, it's nondescript. It doesn't really seem to stand out much. The only thing perhaps that looks odd is that the sign is written not only in Common but also Draconic. And when you and the windows look very thick. They're glass, but the glass looks very thick. When you go inside, it looks mostly like a weird curio shop. Just strange little trinkets and stuff. And being in the dock district, it looks like stuff sailors would buy to take home with them to give their girl or whatever to show that they've been far away.
Some New Orleans voodoo kind of touristy stuff.
Touristy stuff. But there's a beaded curtain that leads to a back room. But when you enter, a rotund gentleman steps through, and his face is multicolored. Every color you can imagine. His face has been painted or tattooed. It's impossible to tell. And when he talks, it's his expressions are so animated. It's hard to look at almost. But when he steps through the curtain, he goes, "Hello, welcome to the Black Lotus. What can I do for you?"
Doubtfire.
I'm looking for something that can hold a lot of things at a little space.
Oh. Like what?
I don't know, bag or a boot, whatever can hold more than it should.
You
Hairpin,
mean?
a
And he
key.
starts to rub his belly. My belly at dinner time.
Something like that, more burlap or leather.
And how did you hear about our little shop?
Well, it certainly wasn't from the Billies.
He looks at you and all of a sudden his expression just fades. Well, if you're going to be rude about it.
You just threatened the shop owner. Congratulations.
I meant that literally. The Billies are disbanded, right? No, well, whatever. I heard from, and then I'll say whoever in the shopping district. He was very, it sounded jealous, but I'm going to say impressed.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so from the beginning? Just wait right here. I'll see what I have. And he goes through the beaded curtain and you hear some rummaging around and he comes back out a few minutes later and he says, I have this. And he shows you a haversack and it is magenta.
Straight magenta.
Straight magenta. Hot pink.
Liquid magenta.
Hot pink.
Frothing magenta.
He says, this can hold quite a bit, but I also have this. And he pulls out this leopard skin. It looks like a lady's purse. Little tiny lady's purse. You'd be surprised what could fit in here.
Which one would you buy for a gift?
It depends on who I'm giving the gift to.
So both then?
Oh no, one per customer.
Tira had her tough choice.
This is Leona's.
Oh, hot pink or leopard skin.
You know, you can always paint over it.
Thinking which one would be easier to paint over.
Leopard skin.
Which texture do you like better? What's the magenta? Is it leather?
Would you mind if I examined them just a little bit?
Oh no, not at all. Go right ahead.
So are these both the magic items I was trying to describe without describing?
Absolutely. He knew exactly what you were talking about.
What is
Stick
the
your head in
difference?
each and see, compare the smell. Do you want the new car? Or do you want the summer breeze?
So
What's the difference between a haversack and a bag folding?
So a bag folding can hold more, but it's only got one container. Haversack has 3 containers. Each one is limited by volume, with 2 smaller and 1 larger.
But otherwise they work the same?
They're mechanically the same, except a bag of holding can hold more stuff.
The bag of holding looks like a Indiana Jones satchel.
No, this
one does.
This one doesn't. It is the size of essentially your hand.
What is the point of having 3 different compartments? Do they do different things, or are they just like...
You can put stuff in different compartments.
Yeah. You don't want your troll dicks to be in there with your rations.
Mm-hmm. Well, and depends on your diet. I mean, Lodeg might.
That's just a salad. Yeah.
He just has one pocket is nothing but marinade. He just throws things in there and fishes them out later.
If I have the option, I'll buy the haversack. I think the multiple pockets would be good.
Okay. He's willing to sell the haversack to you. He says, "Wonderful. We work on trade here. What are you willing to offer?"
You cut out a lot for me here.
Oh, sorry. He says that they work on trade.
Mm.
What are you willing to offer? magic item for magic item.
Ooh.
Well, I have a
Got a scroll
blade.
of light.
It has a partner that I don't know the location. But this blade shows you where the other is. And if you are feeling a bit adventurous, you could go find the other one. It's called the Gemini Blade.
Oh, let me see it.
I'll give it to him.
He takes the blade and he looks into it and he goes, "Really? Have you looked into the blade since the new timeline?"
We have.
I believe I tried to, but I don't think I got a result.
He looks into it and he says, I don't see any reflection at all. It looks like a common enchantment to not reflect."
You have it done.
He pauses and he says, "But since we have a new relationship, I will attempt to identify the blade." And he starts to cast Identify. He says, "Oh, interesting. Perhaps to a collector it might be worth something, but it appears it does not have a partner. Perhaps, do you have anything else?"
Are you looking for something magical or mundane?
Oh, magic item for magic item, my dear.
That's what I assumed. Well, that's the only thing I'm willing to part with I have on me. I also have a... Well, it's not magic, but it's a masterwork drum inlaid with jade that can be easily enchanted. Suppose that and the dagger both might work.
Roll persuasion. He does not look like he wants the trouble of enchanting something.
Roll another d8. Heh. 19.
He looks hesitant. He says, "Normally I leave the enchanting to the Lumari."
Well, I suppose if I find anything, I'll come back then.
I tell you what, you seem like someone I'd be willing to take a wager on.
And what would that wager be?
He pushes the dagger back towards you, and he takes back the haversack. And he says, "Magenta is our most popular color." And he slides the leopard skin bag of holding towards you. He says, "You take this. Go about your little adventure. Come back to me in 1 month's time with a magic item and the bag. And you can have this one in exchange. Perhaps I'll even throw in a little something extra."
1 month
1
from
month.
today's date.
Yes, dear.
I'll take your deal.
And he will shake your hand, and it's surprisingly firm, although moist.
That's exactly what I was dreading.
Yeah.
Clammy.
It's also like not body temperature.
Tastes
it
like
is.
oysters.
You get one of the diseases from Tomb of Annihilation.
Yeah. But then he packs everything up and he sees you out. You have 1 bag of holding. It has an additional property. It has a drawstring on the top, meaning you can open it wide enough to fit large items into it. But that's not the additional property. The additional property is that while you are carrying the bag of holding, you have an additional 5 feet of movement.
Oh.
Leopard skin.
Oh. That's cool.
I was excited and disappointed and excited all.
That's pretty awesome, Brian.
Leopard skin.
You don't want to know what the hot pink one did.
I want to
kinda
know.
I kind of do.
Come back in a month and find out.
Oh man.
I'll plan.
All right.
Yeah. So just out of curiosity, can I look at the Gemini blade again?
Yeah.
Really doesn't show anything.
Doesn't show anything. No, and literally no reflection. The metal looks like it should be shiny at least. But there's no
But
reflection.
it's just matte. That's weird.
Yeah. So, anyone wanting to do anything? Oh, sorry. Tira was going in to look for some barding.
Yeah, she
Breaking
was
into
looking
my
for-
house.
Yes.
Okay.
And then Torgazel wants to get armor.
Armor. So I would like investigation from Torgazel. And
Yeah.
Tira, while you're at the manor, did you tell Pantouf what you were doing?
Oh no. I don't know.
Oh,
He's not a
man.
big fan of it. As he asks me what we're looking for. Well, we're going into dangerous places where there might be fire and bad stuff, and I want you protected. I want you safe. So we're gonna look for that barding. You remember the barding? I know you didn't like it,
Well,
but
it hurts. I kept telling you that it hurts.
we're gonna find a way to put it on proper, okay?
Okay.
It
Maybe-
just needs some adjusting.
Yeah, maybe now that you understand me, maybe we can make it not hurt.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna work on that now. Okay? Help me find it, though. I don't know where she put it.
Oh, I buried it.
You buried it?
Man, he hated that armor.
Where did you bury it?
Roll animal handling.
Please tell me it's under Elric's statue. Please tell me it's under Elric's statue.
Well, wouldn't it be inside? Because he's gonna lie.
He leads you to the foyer, and you see some fresh marble on the floor. And he goes, "Oh, they fixed the floor."
Oh, Toof. Was it marble before?
Yeah,
And you broke it?
yeah, I like digging.
Well, Leona, I need to find Patoof's armor, so we may be breaking the floor a little. Okay, cool, thanks. Dig it out.
I get to dig.
Of course.
And he starts to dig, and you hear it cracking, and there's dust flying, and yeah, he goes to town.
I'm charging the castle for this.
So
Yeah, they're getting the bell.
Torgazel spends some time looking for. He remembers where the armor shop was, run by Raiz. And he spends some time looking around for it, and then realizes he is in the dock ward.
Oh, man, not again.
And heads back over to the market district. But looking around, you don't see Raiz's shop. You do, however, see the sign of the Armiger, which is a different weapon and armor shop.
Well, I mean, I might as well check it out. I don't know where anything. I feel old. Oh. All right. He'll go in and see what he can find.
Okay. Just a second. Here we go. So Actually, Leona, this is funny. So the sign of the silver armiger, you see, the sign itself is wooden. It is carved to depict an armored knight, and it has flaking silver paint on it. When you go inside, there's a young human man working the shop, but he introduces himself as Nigel, and he says, "Welcome to the sign of the silver armiger, Clan Silverheel's great shop.
It's a pleasure to be here.
We have the finest dwarven equipment you could possibly buy."
Man, well, I am excited to see what your catalog has to offer. I'm looking for something to fit this incredible physique you see before.
I'm certain we can find something that fits you perfectly. Okay.
You're nailing the lines.
Thank you. And he will attempt to fit you with armor, and you can see that, that he is very stressed out. As are all the employees there. They are all human, but they are working with the equipment that is there. They are working with whatever supplies they have to hand. You can get, let's see. What kind of armor are you looking for?
Well, right now I have a leather armor.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get my AC up a little higher.
So you can get from them.
Just so he wasn't so squishy.
Okay, so we'll take care of this after the session.
Okay.
But you will be able to get better armor from them.
Okay.
They will fit you for it. They've got armor ready to go that's almost your size, and they can spend a couple hours fitting the armor to you. It won't be a perfect fit, but when they hear that you are traveling to Narborg, they will explain that the dwarves there can fit it to you perfectly. And since it is, Clan Silverheel armor, they'll do it. They'll just do it.
Well, that's fantastic news. Otherwise, I'd have to bury it in my friend Leona's house.
They laugh, and you can tell that they're only laughing because they're terrified.
Seriously,
Dropped Leona. Fuck.
She should not be named.
I'm in the armor biz, and you guys.
And then
Really?
when you ask them about a price, they tell you that there is no charge for friends of Lady Silverheel.
Oh wow! Jeez, you're giving me the Lady Silver, so thank you very much. I'm gonna give a great review. I'll tell people wonderful work.
And Nigel, sort of under his voice, sort of asks you, maybe it'd be better if you just didn't mention our names at all to Lady Silverheel. That would be the best outcome for all of us.
You've got it, friend.
Thank you so much.
I was Cruella de Vil, but with small children.
Have a fantastic day, and thank you for such great service.
You too, sir. You too.
Off to go save the world. I'm assuming.
Well, that armor will keep you safe.
Awesome. I need something good for the pictures. And then Torgazel heads out.
Okay. Anyone want to do anything else?
I wanted to buy a ton of miscellaneous equipment, good for helping survive of possibly disastrous war times or otherwise natural disasters.
Okay.
If we're going up in the mountains, we might want some cold weather gear.
Yeah,
Maybe we
I'm
all
just
get
putting
some.
that all in the bag as emergency supplies for when I get there and the dwarves are, stranded or starving and things.
Cool.
Coats.
So I'm going to ask you to, after the session, as a team, come up with a list of what's in the bag.
What's in the bag?
What's in
Um,
that?
I'm going to leave all my special crafting stuff here. The things that I really don't want to get lost, I'm going to leave in the vault.
Okay.
Just as a, make sure I don't lose it.
Cool. And last but not least, Leona goes home to look for a map. So, Leona, when you arrive at home, you enter through your front door and you find that your entire foyer is now a crater.
I've had your servants bring me something to drink, by the way.
Actually,
Watching Hunter
you
do this
notice
is exhausting.
You notice, Tira, that there are no servants.
Oh. The service here is terrible.
Well,
I'm gonna leave a terrible
That's what
Yelp
happens
review.
when the local government lets the people overthrow it. I just walk past her. Don't even mention anything that's happening in the room. Just ignore
Service
it all and keep walking.
terrible.
You're paying for that.
Tira, with that animal handling, by the way, you are able to work with Pantouf now that he can communicate with you and find where the barding had been rubbing him and where there were pieces of metal sticking through the leather and where it had just not been measured properly. And you're able to get it where it's more comfortable. He's still not used to it. And he's still not sure about it, but it doesn't hurt anymore.
And if you have any changes you want made, I'm proficient with armor care kits.
Mm-hmm.
So I could work on anything on the field that happens.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to ask anymore, but
All right. I want you to understand how fancy this, I'm going to say gondola again, but that's not what I'm... It's really fancy.
Okay, so, Leona,
Yeah.
where are you going to look for a map?
I have a study, right?
Yeah?
I assume I keep the things that are flammable there.
That's,
look
that's
there.
a fair assumption. You go to your study. In the study, you have, a desk. On the desk are some papers, the little rock messenger. There's an inkwell and a few quills. Two of the walls are lined with bookcases, mostly filled with books and scrolls. There are a couple of buckets of scrolls. Next to the desk, there's a chair behind the desk, and on the opposite side to receive petitioners, there's to one side a couple of large plush chairs where you can sit with someone comfortably to chat. On a small
Is there a
table between them.
globe that's only purpose is to hide alcohol?
There is not, because the last thing in the room is a minibar.
I checked the minibar for the map.
Okay, roll investigation. You do not find a map.
Well, but I found something much more important to get me through the rest of the map hunting.
Excellent.
So I'll check the study. I'll check the scroll cases. I'm not as worried about the books. If it's not here, I feel like its location might be secret, or at least not common knowledge. So I'll check the vault. I don't actually know where that is, only that I have one.
Okay. You roll investigation to search the study. You look through the scroll cases, and most of them are just correspondence. Both on the island with various trade groups back to the mainland, and also with different clans at Narborg, but nothing that tells you where Narborg is, and no maps.
Do I know how fast the little rock dude travels? I saw him go before. He just sunk into the ground and kind of... shooped off, right?
Yep.
Can I talk to it?
Can you?
I try. I talk to it in Dwarven. I hit it like once, like a little tap.
When you do, it sort of wakes up and looks up at you and holds out its two little hands. It apparently is expecting to receive like a letter or something.
Can you speak? Or otherwise understand me?
It started to shake its head side to side, but then it nods up and down, and then it gets confused and just starts to circle its head.
Do you know where Narborg is? I mean, you take things there.
It kind of looks at you, and it started to nod, and then it gets a little confused again. And you get the feeling that you kind of have to actually ask it a question and wait for it to respond before you keep talking.
Paradox. Destroy all humans.
Do I have a map of the island?
Yes. That you found.
Could you dip one of your fingers in ink and point to where it is on this map? Just touch where it's at.
So it goes over to the inkwell, and it dips its finger in the inkwell. And then it starts to sink down into the floor.
It's going to touch where it's at.
On the map.
So it floats back up out of the floor, and it sort of moves over to the map, and it looks up at you and down at the map, and then it takes the map and it starts to sink down into the floor.
Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm very not good at explaining things to people.
Should try throwing it into the sewers. I did that with my cat when it wasn't listening.
What I need to know is where Narborg is. Can you help?
It floats back up out of the floor. It's holding the map. It hasn't touched the map in any way to indicate anything. But when you ask that, it looks up at you and it nods.
Can you do the thing that would help me?
It just stares. And then it sort of comes over to you and it gives you a hug.
Oh,
Thank you. That helped a lot.
Remember, this thing's only like 3 inches tall.
It's
my
Brian.
new
It's the
favorite.
gesture.
Mm-hmm.
I pick him up, tell him he can go back to sleep.
And it just turns into a little rock in your hand.
I'm gonna put him in my pocket and I'll go check the vault.
Okay.
We need an entire quest line to build him a bigger body. So he
Yeah.
can be a little
Put him
teeny
in a
tiny
ball.
rock
Yeah.
that operates a massive warforged.
You go looking for your vault, and it takes you a while. You assume that because it's a vault, it would be in the basement or something. But the only thing you find in the basement is a storage room for couches.
How many couches are there?
Do you want to spend time counting?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you
Why are there that many couches? Don't answer that. I know why there's that many couches.
okay. So you eventually find the vault. It is on the top floor of your manor, behind a curtain in what looks like a guest bedroom. There's just a large, like, bank door. It appears to have some kind of lock.
What kind of lock? Just can you describe the mechanism?
So there's a large crank that seems to open it. But when you turn the crank, the door does not open. You see no other mechanism.
Are there any slots? So there's no like slots or anything. It's just the crank.
Mm-hmm. The door is obviously a door, right? The hinges, though, are on the other side.
Can I just try and push and or pull it?
It does not move. It is a big, heavy metal door.
What would I do if I were me? Are there busts lining this room anywhere?
They all look like you. There are 4, one in each corner.
Can I check the underside of them?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Most dangerous puzzle we've ever encountered.
All I know is I always have the key. Me, the lead.
I am the key.
I'm really shitty at myself.
You have to ask yourself whether or not you have trapped this place.
You
Good question.
you look under 3 of the 4 busts and find nothing. When you look under the 4th bust, you find nothing. You get the feeling that you didn't want the guests who stayed in this room to be alone. So you left busts of yourself for them.
That's amazing.
How many of them are flirty?
They are all different moods.
Which one is sad?
None of them are sad.
That's what I thought.
We're about to. Is that a bust of yourself?
Have you not been in any room in my manor? They're all over the place. It's terrifying.
I know, but why are you holding it?
I thought I would keep the key under it or something like that. That seems like a me thing to do, I guess. I need to open
Key?
this door. There's not even a key slot. I don't know why I thought there would be a key.
Well, let me have a look. Maybe I can help you.
Okay. You roll
Maybe Pantouf could
investigation.
help you.
Can I just yell at it, maybe?
Oh,
Oh, that's something I would. It's
uh,
definitely something.
have Pantouf make an intelligence check.
Oh, he's not the most smart boy.
He's
He's
smarter,
good, though.
He's smarter than he was.
Perhaps. He's still not that smart.
Okay. So, Tira, it's odd. You see again, this crank, but as you are looking at it, it looks like this crank that you think on other vault doors, right? There would be like a combination, or there would be a keyhole for tumblers or something. And then the crank you would turn to engage the mechanism. This crank spins freely, almost as if it's just there for show.
Okay. I think he just put that there to fuck with people.
I'm a dick.
Yeah.
Pantouf, he says, I've never, you didn't let me up on this floor, so I don't know, but hey, is that the little, can the little thing come out and play?
Oh, little thing. Do you have
I
anything
mean,
that
you're
qualifies?
not going to eat him, right?
I can't eat him, but he's fun to chase.
What are you guys talking
All
about?
right. I pull out the little elemental and I tell it to humor the dog.
So the little elemental comes out,
This is so cute.
and Pantouf hunkers down on both feet and with both feet around it, and the elemental sort of boops Pantouf on the nose and then goes running, and Pantouf starts chasing it, and they start chasing and there's skidding around, and a bust is knocked off and shatters. And
And we could do that another 94 times.
This is really cute. Does it know how to get it? Did you ask it about the vault? Does it know anything? Can it talk?
Didn't occur to me.
What is it
I
exactly?
don't even know what its name is.
That's terrible.
I don't remember. You didn't know what your mother's name was.
She's
was a
not
lash
really
out.
my mother.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's what
know.
you keep telling yourself. Can you open the vault door by chance?
the elemental makes a hard left and melds through the vault door, and Pantouf skids all 4 feet and goes smashing into the door.
Oh.
Oh, are
And
you okay, buddy?
Puppy.
then a second later, you hear a click, and the vault door swings open, and you see the little elemental there, and Pantouf growls, and they start chasing each other again.
I know I can be abrasive, but was the basket to your liking?
Yes, it was very, very pretty. Thank you. By the way, I appreciate it.
I ignore her and walk in the vault.
Excellent.
You're welcome.
What's in here, Brian?
Roll a d100. "67 busts of yourself."
I'm sorry, but 67. How vain are you? Were you? Are you still?
Very. I swear, I take one and I throw it on the ground. What's inside of it? Is there anything inside of it?
A smaller bust.
Minuscule.
No, there's nothing inside.
It really just busts? There's nothing else?
They are made of cheap plaster that has been polished to shine like marble.
Well, it's no wonder you have so much money. All your stuff is junk. And I push one off to crash on the ground.
It hits the ground with a thunk, and you realize it is marble.
Oh,
That one was.
I guess he did have some money on some.
Ranking up the national debt.
I have no idea what the purpose of this room is anymore.
I thought it was a vault. Why would you have a vault for faces of yourself?
I don't know.
Didn't
thought
you
it'd
used to
be
keep a diary or anything?
A map or something. I looked for one, but I think I had one written for me about myself. It was very strange to read.
No shit.
Well, I don't see a map in here, just a lot of heads. Might as well clear it out now for something useful.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start removing heads, Brian.
Do you break them?
I mean, no. Not unless I could hear something jingling around and
Okay.
just so I have a functional vault that's not full of faces.
You can do that. I mean, where are you going to put them?
Just in this room.
Okay.
Just all over this room.
You can fill up this room with the busts of you. Some of them are lighter, and you assume they're made of plaster. Some of them are heavier. You assume they're made of marble.
Okay. I'll just close the vault door.
Okay.
Not all the way, because I want to be able to open it. Just that. And also because there's nothing in there.
There's nothing in there. A couple minutes later, Pantouf and the little elemental come back. The elemental is riding on Pantouf's head.
Oh, it's so cute.
It is.
Does it know other secrets to this place?
Well, it knows where Narborg is. I just didn't ask it the right questions. But
Well,
I don't know if
that's-
we could find it from a giant bird. Maybe we just go land in the area and he could take us there.
Well, I mean, we could try to ask it some questions.
I'm very bad at that. You could.
Little, I don't know what to call them. Adorable little thing. person? Cutie pie. Do you know if there are any maps in this place?
It looks at you and it shakes its head confusedly.
That's okay. It doesn't know what maps is. This is not great. Do you know what Narborg is?
It nods.
Cool. Leona says that you know a way to get there. Is that true?
It nods.
Do you know of a way for people like us to get there?
It thinks for a minute, and then it shakes its head confusedly.
Do you know of a way for people like us to find it?
It shakes its head no.
Well, you tried. That's good. You guys can go back to playing. I guess it doesn't really know.
Pantouf says, because it's sitting on his head, Pantouf is looking at it cross-eyed, kind of trying to see it. And he goes, Can you take us there? And the little elemental nods.
We can't go through floors. Is that going to be a problem?
And the elemental nods.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So if we could all,
what if we
what
brought
is it? Meld with stone?
What if we found some excavating tools?
Or
Maybe Wilfred has something for that?
What if we got close? And the little elemental is just so many questions. It's looking around confusedly at all of you.
Okay. Well, you know what we'll do? We're going to bring him with us. He has a vague idea where it is.
Worst case, we can send him to Alrox and have him send us back how to get there.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
fair.
Oh, can you point at Narborg? Because
I was about to say that.
I like to point at things. See, I can point, and Pantouf holds out a paw. And
You're very good at it.
And the little elemental sort of spins and points in a different direction.
What? Just give me like a general cardinal direction.
So it's generally where that beer stein was on the map.
Okay.
Well, pointing is good. Pointing, we can use that. Also, I think that we should prepare for some excavation. Do you think they have dynamite in town?
Does dynamite exist here?
No.
Do you think they have anything that explodes in town?
I think you could get some glyphs of warding put on the hammer or something.
I think I'll stop by Wilfred's place, just in case he has something to dig. Could be worth looking
I
around.
don't know if he'd own a shovel or not.
Thank you for the basket. Sorry about your floor. You can keep the cutie for now. We'll meet you later.
I can keep it. You're
But
allowing me to.
And I walk away. As I
Leave his
call my dog.
botting at least so I can fix it.
I thought it was already fixed.
I don't know. In the timeline, I figured you just got it.
Sure. I made markings where it needs to be fixed. Bye.
And Pantouf will say goodbye to the little elemental and leave with Tira. Okay, so, Elric, Jacob, what are you guys up to?
I want to do the continual flame for Lodeg.
Mm-hmm.
I am certain. I think that's all I can do until we get snow.
Okay.
I think Jacob's going to try to copy spells from the book, or start to.
Cool. You can do
The
that.
spell book.
All right. So, Tira, you're going to
I'll stop by Wilfred's shop real quickly to see if we can't find anything, just in case we need to dig. But I'm not. I mean, if we find something good, think
Okay.
we might not find a whole lot.
Both Wilfred's tower. So his tower was burned down in the coup. His warehouse is boarded up and chained up when you arrive.
Chained up. Who
The
chained it
doors-
up?
The doors are chained closed, and the windows are all boarded up.
What the hell? Can I? When you say that it's chained, is it chained with a lock on it?
Mm-hmm. Big old padlock.
I'll pick the lock.
So, this is a very complicated looking lock.
Ooh.
I am a talented lock picker. Watch this.
So, this is going to be trickier than just one roll.
Okay.
So, what I need you to do first, you probably want to. It's a very large and intricate looking lock. It looks very complicated and like it was designed to foil normal lockpicking attempts. There look to be several different components, and you feel like just going at it with your thieves' tools might not be the best approach. So,
Okay. I'm gonna start by telling the lock, Wilfred Fizzlebang, and see if anything happens when I do.
nothing happens.
It was worth a try.
But after maybe a few seconds, the lock echoes back.
Fisherman.
Nope.
We tried.
This is not his stuff. Okay, well, can I maybe look at it closer, see if I can't...
Make an investigation check. Excellent. So you can see that there are several different mechanisms, and picking one seems to set off some kind of timer to the next one.
Oh, it's a lot like something... Didn't I do something similar to enter in this place before?
You did.
Aha.
However, it seems like each one, while being more and more complicated, you can tell that there are different little tricks or traps or faults, tumblers or whatnot in here. So you're going to have to make several checks, not all of which are thieves' tools checks.
I'm gonna try my best.
Okay. So the first check you think is a thieves' tools check. I'm going to let you keep that 20.
Cool.
And you with your thieves' tools, you spend time investigating, probing, trying to figure this out. But then you notice a small receptacle. It is concave. It is almost like a little tiny, tiny bowl. It looks like it would hold one drop of fluid. And it it looks like it has held fluid in the past, and it's almost rust colored.
I borrow one of Pantoufle's pointy teeth to nick my thumb, and I drop one tiny drop of blood in there.
When you do this little bowl, which is on a tiny metal arm, the bowl sort of swings down and then off to the side, and you hear a ticking sound as another mechanism starts clicking into place. Behind it, you see several small symbols. They look like almost like phases of the moon. Each one starting with full, extending to the new moon. You have to decide. you think one to sort of press or turn or twist, but you aren't sure which.
And is there anything that could help me decide? Any check that I could make to help me decide?
So this lock appears to be to draw from several different cultures. And you aren't, off the top of your head, certain which culture would use both a blood sacrifice to the moon to open a lock, but perhaps a religion check would help.
I'm gonna try my best. Oh, that's a good roll, because that's a straight one.
It is. And you think that perhaps this has to do with a local story, almost as if the lock itself is telling a story. And so you choose the new moon, as the new moon is the time of opening and opportunity, according to local legends that you have heard. And you press into it with your lockpicks, and you hear a click and then another whirring as the mechanism continues to open a little further. And you see one last tumbler. I need one more thieves' tools check from you.
You got this.
All right, let's do it.
Good rock.
As you reach in with your thieves' tools, pull back the last piece of the mechanism, and open the lock.
Bravo.
Well, that was a little more difficult this time around. I wonder who makes those. Does it look like this lock can be reused? Or is it like a one-time only thing? It's a fancy lock.
It looks like it could be reused.
I'm gonna pocket the lock for now.
Okay.
And, I'll get in. I'll try to, make it look like it's still closed on the inside. And just, has anything changed inside of the warehouse?
When you were here last, it looked like Wilfred had left in a hurry. There were papers scattered around. There were drawings all over the place. Several of the pillars that had readouts on them were active or in various states of activation. Now everything appears to be packed up, put away, shut down. The pillars have sheets thrown over them. It looks almost as if the place was packed up. As if whoever lives there or used it was planning to be away for a while.
Okay, I'll swoop around, just look for something that, or notes that could point me. I'm looking for something to dig, or maybe there's a gnome that will come out of nowhere and ask me what the fuck I'm doing in his warehouse.
Okay.
Whatever happens first.
Make an investigation. You spend an hour or so looking around, and everything is packed up. It is very well categorized, labeled, as if it's expecting to be moved or relocated sometime soon, and whoever is doing so wishes things to be easily found afterwards. There's even a catalog and an index you find in the top of one crate. You don't find any digging equipment. You do find, I believe, I need to make sure this is the name of the spell. Yeah, you do find a spell scroll of stone shape.
That's good. I'm gonna pick it up and, make a note next to where it was in the index. I had to borrow it. Thanks a lot, Wilfred. And just, sign my name. I owe you with my name.
Then you can meet up with the rest of the group. It is getting into evening by this point.
I'm gonna lock back Wilfred's shop. I don't want to take his fancy lock and leave all of his precious belongings to be stolen. I've already stolen a thing from him. I'm gonna lock it back behind me.
When you exit the shop with Pantouf, turn around. The door is already locked with another lock exactly like that one, except slightly more complicated.
Do I still have the lock that I had pocketed?
You do.
Ooh.
Okay. All right then. Fancy spells you got going on there, Fizzlebang. And I will go home. I've worked very hard today.
Okay. You go home along with Pantouf. Everyone can rest the night, and you meet up in the morning.
Can I recharge that amulet?
Yes, at the dawn.
It is a cloudy day. There is no sun.
No!
No, you can recharge the amulet at the dawn.
Yay! I get to roll.
All right. So, do we have everything that we need? We have transportation and a basket to transport everybody. We have supplies. Do we need anything special? Do we know what to expect there? Is this outfit appropriate?
I mean, we got cold weather gear, some potions-ish,
Got my
spell components.
friend Annalise here.
Yeah. Your necromancy is unparalleled.
Oh, hi, Annalise. I give her a hi.
She turns to look at you and she smiles. You sense no warmth in the smile, but she shows you both fangs.
That sounds about right.
Okay, so she's smiling or baring her teeth? I'm not.
You can roll insight.
What? Fuck it.
Please do.
No, I actually can't roll inside. I have no idea what these scores on my sheet mean.
Roll a d20. You have no idea what she's doing.
So cold weather gear. We have something that may serve as a compass. We have the potions. We have a general idea of where we're going. We have a way to get there. Are we missing anything?
I don't think so. That was all I needed.
I can't really think of anything either.
I mean, I assume we have plenty of rations and meat.
I bought a fuck ton of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which
Just
I
to make sure
really
Lodek's not going to starve. Like,
Okay, let's put it this way. I tried to buy enough food and supplies for a city.
So that won't fit in a bag of holding.
That's why I said I tried to buy that much.
But you did nearly fill the bag with supplies. You have plenty. And we will get to the particulars over the downtime, but you guys have a lot of supplies.
A 7
Alright.
should be good. I hope.
So we are set then.
Okay.
Oh,
Makes
also,
sense.
I found this scroll. I don't know if you can copy this, Elric, but we might end up needing it. And I will end them the scroll of stone shape.
Also, just between us, Tira,
Mhm.
when the option comes to write on the bird or write in the box, the bird box, choose the box.
The box is nice.
Did you go inside?
No, I didn't take the time.
I put fainting couches in it.
What is it with you and the fainting
I
couches?
had like 19 in my basement.
Don't try to pawn them off of me.
On them off on myself.
Well, you can. I didn't get to ride on the bird the first time around. I
It's
want to ride on
very
the
nice in the
bird.
box.
I'll
You
go
can
in the
ride on the
box.
nice box.
And like, Eric, just between you and me, when the option comes to choose between the bird, choose the box.
What about me, Leona?
I've hidden
Jacob.
I hid a lot of wine underneath one of the couches. Then I move over to Jacob and I'm like, Jacob, between you and me, don't try and ride the bird. You're going to die.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, let me just go say bye to my dad, and then I guess we'll get going. If you have goodbyes to say, now is a good time to do it.
No, I mean I've got my ex's. She's dead. Got her brother's soul still. I'm good.
I should probably go
Cool.
tell the shop
Like,
what's
oh,
happening.
oh yeah, shoot! I have like employees, don't I?
Many.
Crap, Jacob. Yeah, there was a war, wasn't there?
Yes.
That was.
Brian.
Okay, give me like an hour.
Okay.
I don't think I paid them.
The state takes care of that.
Oh God, I'm a terrible boss.
On the other hand, Brian, on my shop,
Yep.
the Silver Heels, I just want to show up, pay everybody for the next week, and tell them to take a week off and then leave.
When you show up, there's only Nigel.
Well, I pay him for the week and I tell him to leave. He can come back next week when the shop's reopened.
When you tell him to leave, he says, "Am I being fired?
No, you're taking a vacation.
So I'm being fired.
No, you're coming back next week.
What did I do wrong?
Nothing.
Oh my God, I'm being fired.
No.
I'm so sorry. I
I'm
will
giving
do
you a
better.
raise. What are you talking about?
I didn't mean to.
Stop
I don't
talking.
even know what I'm so sorry.
And take this money
I didn't.
and then
take
show up
any
next
money.
week. Yo, I'm giving you the money now.
I'm so. And he starts bawling.
Now you're embezzling.
I didn't take
What did I do to you when I... Did you not see that I'm different? Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at my face.
You look completely. Whatever you.
Don't
I
you
just-
lie to me.
Oh my
I
God.
look
I'm so
awful. Just take this money and do whatever you want for the next week. You can work, you can not work, I don't care. Just the week after that,
No,
be
and
here.
he's just crying and he flees.
Oh, God. I just drop, like, a bag of money in front of him, and I tell him to take it and then leave.
He has already fled the shop without the money.
Oh, Jesus. What did I do to that kid, Brian?
Insight check. Insight check.
Actually, no. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Ten's okay. You hear some noise from the back of the shop, and you see like a head sort of glancing around a doorway. And when you glance in that direction, it jerks back so that you can't see it. And then you hear the sound of feet running, like in multiple directions.
Well, that happened. I guess I'll write a note. Leave this bag of gold here. And then I leave. All the note says is, take some time to care for yourselves, and then there's just a bag of gold. Signed, Leona.
Okay. So, the rest of you can take care of any business you like before leaving. We'll do that in downtime.
I mean, besides Tara going to say bye to
Yes.
her dad.
He
Papa.
is waiting for you in the courtyard at the keep. And he says, I was hoping you would come to say goodbye to me before you go.
Of course, I wouldn't just take off. I try to avoid it anyway. Hopefully, we will save some dwarves and make some friends and find some important things, and then come back, and then we can make peace with the orcs. I think that would be good, right?
Most important, come back.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try that. I give him a big hug. I'm gonna miss you.
He hugs you back and he says, I will miss you too. And he
You be careful.
He hands you a single stone. It is roughly the size of the palm of your hand, and there are 3 grooves carved across it.
What's this?
If you need, you can call.
All right. I'll try not to call too often. I know you're probably busy. Put it in my bag. You be careful out there. And if there's anything weird or crazy happening, you call me, okay?
Yes, I will.
I give him another hug. And then I'm ready to go. I will, I don't know if all my friends are here with the basket and everything. But I will take out the figurine. And what's the word? Let me get the word. Bird is the word. Vrothiek? I call Fort the giant bird.
This bird that is the size of a city district appears in the air. It actually has a little trouble finding somewhere where it can almost set down. As it is beating its wings, people start running for cover.
I forgot how big it was.
It is able to, within the keep courtyard, set down both feet and sort of tuck in both wings, but it almost fills up the bowl of the courtyard. You have to go into the keep, climb up to the top of the walls to get into the saddle on top.
Yeah, Tira's definitely riding in the saddle.
Torgers, I'll go with you.
Yeah, it's like an honor and stuff.
Okay.
Oh yeah, man, this is an old hat for me. That's fun.
Tira,
Been here, done this. Second time
Torgers.
around.
Pantouf has to ride in the basket.
Yeah.
Annalise
Be good,
will
buddy.
ride in the basket.
I'm riding in the basket. I made that shit fancy.
Okay.
Can I make a harness? I guess just ride in the basket.
Okay.
Yeah, Jacob's in the basket with Annalise. I assume she's not at all leaving his side, though.
Correct. And the little guy is gonna.
He looks so big.
Yeah.
I keep him with me.
Okay, fine.
Jacob's
Well, are we gonna know which way to go?
So
We know roughly where it is. We're just going to go to the area. I'm assuming
Okay.
dismount the giant bird and then.
That's fair.
Okay.
Why? How dare you use logic against me?
I don't know if he can sense what direction it is without being on the ground either. I don't know if, like, in midair he knows where anything is.
So I'm gonna move you all to the map. And the rock climbs with one foot up to the top of the keep wall, pulls the gondola with the other foot up, sets it on top of the keep wall, then flies up, does a loop around the city to come around and pick up the gondola.
Oh gosh.
And then begins flying north. This trip is roughly 400 miles. It covers it in about 2 hours.
Mid-ride, I'm like, I should have padded the back wall. Why didn't I pad the back wall?
As you all hit it, as it hits block.
As
Bong.
as it is accelerating, those of you inside the gondola see Annalise is the only one who does not seem to be affected by the rate of movement. She simply stands in the middle of the gondola, never swaying in any direction, perfectly still. The rest of you, though,
Can I try and do that, Brian? Can I attempt to be not swayed?
make a strength check.
That's a saving throw, but
Whoa!
So you are you stand by her, and you are able to stand for most of the journey and hold yourself upright and fairly immobile. And she looks, if she could look impressed, she would.
Yep.
I have to stand to enjoy the wine. Otherwise, it just hit the wall.
After a couple of hours flying across the White Rock Mountains, those of you who are on in the saddles, the rock, as it flies over the mountains, it gets cold. You're glad for the cold weather gear. The wind is brutal as it flies past you. There is no magical protection from the wind on this creature. It dries out your eyes and your mouths. You find yourselves having to keep them closed, and you are unable to speak with one another. But luckily, the ride is not that long. And before long, it begins to descend over the other side of the mountains at slow. And you can bring it to the ground near where you think Narborg must be.
I will do so.
The rock lands, and luckily it flies so quickly you've got 6 more hours of rock time to rock out. And you take out the small elemental. And while you're holding him, you ask him to point in the direction of Narborg, and he looks confused. The second you put him on the ground and he makes contact with the earth, all of a sudden he orients immediately and he points. You get back in the rock. It takes off again and flies just a little in another direction, and you spend another 10, 15 minutes with the rock moving so quickly, triangulating until you get to a valley where you see a waterfall coming out of a cave high up on the side of a mountain. The waterfall leads to a river that flows out into this valley. The little elemental, when you set it on the ground this time, points directly at the cave and the waterfall.
When we land, the first time we were in snow, right?
You will have landed in snow at least once.
Can I get a snowman together and put it inside, snowball by snowball, Leona's bag?
Mm-hmm.
I do so.
Will snow persist in the bag?
It is an,
No, but... Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's an extra dimensional space. It won't necessarily persist, but if you pack snow tightly enough, it would last a little while, which will
That was
probably
my
be long
thinking.
enough for what Elric is trying to do.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I shove more than I need, so hopefully I'll have enough by the time I get there.
When we figure out it's in the cave, I'll, write down a letter to Alrox on a piece of paper, and I'll ask the elemental to go find him and give them this.
Okay. It'll take the letter, and it will meld into the ground, and that's the...
And then I ask him to come back to me
Okay.
when he's done.
Okay. So roll an insight check.
3.
Yep. Cool. That is exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I blame the intelligence card, and therefore Tony.
So, there's a path that leads up to this cave entrance. And the cave itself is fairly large, probably 30 feet tall. And
Not
as
bird
many feet wide.
large.
Not bird large. The bird is going to have to go.
All right, I'm gonna undo the bird thing. There's a word. Can I actually say this word?
Dismiss.
Astuat.
Nice. And the bird
Has to have.
turns back into a statue.
I would have pronounced that Ashtwat. And then I would have felt silly because I said Ashtwat.
So
And I put it in my bag.
you enter into the cave, and the sound of the roaring waterfall behind you is thunderous. It's difficult to hear one another as you enter this cave. There's a little room on either side of the river that is flowing out of the cave. But before long, the river enters into some rock and disappears, and the cave dries out, and you are able to keep walking. It is a fairly large cave. You are able to walk several side by side.
I make sure Lodeg uses the bathroom before we go into the cave.
Also, did you ask if Lodeg could take a bite of the bird?
No.
No, he's going to ask. We have to do something.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that he's gonna get distracted by all the other things, and maybe he'll just forget about it. Also, he's been kind of off lately. I think he's just staring in the bowl, trying to eat the fish.
Yeah, he's been trying to get that for a long time now. I don't think he
know.
slept last night.
But, I mean, if it keeps him occupied and distracted, that's good. Because I think the orcs would kind of be offended if there was a bite missing out of their giant bird.
I like grab Lodeg and turn him before he walks into a stalagmite.
These fish, I do not understand.
After several hundred feet, the cave levels out, and the floor of the cave becomes smooth. And you realize that it has become worked stone. As you continue forward, you see light ahead of you.
Are we there already?
So, as far as I know, it's larger than this. This might just be a gateway?
The
something?
entranceway.
Yes.
Well, time to send something. I summon my beholderkin, my gazer.
Oh.
Boop.
I'm sure your mom is very pleased with how you dismissed it for the longest time.
It appears. It floats up to you and starts.
Yes, I'm certain. Oh, really? There were 12 of them. Go scout the damn hallway.
And it floats down the hallway. Mort, who is floating beside Jacob, goes, "She'd look cuter if she didn't have any, skin."
I completely agree. Oh god, I completely agree. What's happening to me?
Yeah, that was weird.
So, Elric, are you looking through her eye?
I will look through her eye.
All right. She floats forward another 100, 200 feet. The tunnel comes to an archway. And you see beyond the archway, it opens out into an immense cavern. In the ceiling of the cavern, you seem to be very high up on the side of the cavern. In the ceiling of the cavern is a large crystalline structure from which this light seems to emanate. All along the walls of the cavern, on multiple levels, appear to be buildings. Some have lights, some do not.
No signs of living people and or threats.
You see no movement.
I'll bring her back.
Can...
And then
Never mind. Never mind. We're not in there, so Jacob will wait till we're getting there.
I look at Peabody and I tell her, all right, I'm really sorry about dismissing you for so long. But now that you're here, I have something really important to tell you. And then I dismiss her.
Okay.
You're such a jerk.
Well, they're gonna know that you haven't changed.
Did you see anything of interest?
Oh, sorry. It opens up and reveals buildings on both sides. There's lights coming from some of them, but I see no signs of people.
That's not great.
It's a little disturbing, to be honest.
I guess we could have a closer look.
Yes.
Maybe they're hiding or something.
Well, as far as I know,
Arcane Eye.
all the dwarves are hiding, and I'm not sure why.
Okay. So what are you doing?
I cast invisibility. Where is my invisibility? Oh, it's a second level spell. I cast invisibility on who wants to sneak up.
I always like to sneak up.
I'll cast it at third level for myself and Tira,
Okay.
and
Two
I
of
will
you
try to sneak forward.
Are invisible. Roll stealth. You have advantage.
This is right. Actually, I don't actually know. I think it's actually a 26.
Okay. You both move quietly forward with no sound coming from either of you. The rest of you see them disappear, do not hear them move at all. And you approached this archway and peek through. You see an immense city laid out below you in multiple rings. There is one ring above you. The city is lit mostly by the large crystal structure in the ceiling. At the very bottom of the city seems to be a small lake. Many of the buildings have light coming out of them. You spend a few moments looking around, but you see no movement immediately. I would like both
And
of
there are
you...
no signs of, like, people being dead or chaos or...
Well, I would like both of you to make perception checks.
I'll help because this is important to me.
Did you move up
You're-
with them?
You know, probably not. I'm not the sneakiest person, but I'm excited.
I think I just have a +5 to this. I'm just gonna.
While this happens,
Mhm.
Brian, can Jacob try to see if he senses any using the phylactery of Honus?
Senses any what?
Any souls floating around?
Make an Arcana check. Nice. Okay. Tira and
Yes.
Ulrich, you see no bodies, no signs of struggle, no signs of commotion. Looks just like an empty city.
Can I find a room, a house that would have light coming out from it, and open the door and look inside?
Yeah. Perhaps 2 buildings down from where you exited the passageway is a building with a lit window. When you turn towards it, the door is unlocked. It opens easily. You have to stoop down a little bit to enter. The building is not made for people who are human or elf-sized. But once you enter the door, you can stand back up to your full height. Although the proportions of the room are just slightly off. When you look around, make an investigation check. Jacob, you sense no souls in the immediate vicinity. You normally use this ability to attempt to draw in souls from nearby corpses, and there don't seem to be any. You haven't ever attempted to scan an entire city for souls before. Tira, you look around and you see there are plates set on the table with food still on them. The food is rotting. There are in the kitchen area, you can see where somebody had been preparing a meal, and it looks like they left in the middle of it.
And there's nothing to show that they packed bags and left. Does it look like they just got? Does it look like the rapture happened? Is this the rapture?
Any spaghetti monsters, eldritch horrors.
So you do notice there's no weapons. It doesn't look like they packed anything to leave for a long trip. Right? But normally, dwarves, you would expect there's like an axe or something nearby. Mm-hmm. And you don't see any. But there's no sign of struggle or anything like that.
I don't know how clean this place is now or how clean it was when they were, living here. Mm-hmm. But is there enough dust on the ground that we can see which direction they went?
Make a survival check.
Good question.
I don't actually think I have this +1, so I think it's a 13.
So, within the house, there's not a lot of dust. This doesn't appear to be something that happened a long time ago. Based on the decay of the food, it was probably only a few days ago. In the walkways around each ring, there's not like thick layers of dust or anything, but you can see dirt and some scuffs and whatnot. But they lead in every direction around the ring. It's a big circle.
Okay.
Well, I guess we should go back. There's no one here.
Yes, and then we can start to make our way through these lit rooms.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go back.
Okay. You return back. to the party.
I'll let them know about what we found. Oh, there's nobody there and food's still on plates. And it's a
There's
little
nothing?
creepy.
No one. And everybody's just gone. Like the rapture?
The
Oh, gosh.
rapture
The
was
rapture scenario.
mentioned. Yes.
I mean, they did take their weapons with them because there wasn't any axes or anything like that. But
They take their weapons with them to the bathroom. That's nothing special.
You're saying there wasn't even like a blacksmith there that could alter some maybe somewhat uncomfortable armor. Oh,
You know, I
Stop.
can do that, right?
stop playing with your pants.
it's chafing. You don't
Just
Patu.
leave it alone.
Why would you pick skinny jeans to wear with your armor?
That was that's what dwarves wear.
No.
That's the best vision.
Their skinny jeans are like extra larges on regular people.
Because it's
They're
like
specialty.
super tight, then super wide hips.
Why didn't you come to me for your armor?
I didn't
Wait,
want.
I literally made that. Look here, and I like point to the part of it that has my signature on it.
So,
Oh.
what would you guys like to do?
Hold on, I'll find out where the elemental has taken that paper. And I cast
Okay.
on the letter that I wrote.
Excellent. Let's see. Describe a name and object within 100 feet of you. Blah, blah, blah. Excellent. So, the letter is 10 feet ahead of you, 1 foot below the surface. And then the elemental rises up above the ground and starts moving forward, and you see it approaching the archway. And then you see a dwarven shape move in silhouette the archway, and it turns, and it looks like Ulrich's, and the little elemental holds up the letter, and the dwarf bends down to pick it up. And that is where
Well, that
we
was
are going to
Waste
end.
of his spell.
Well, at least we found the dwarves. We did it.
Yeah, that's not ominous at all.
Everybody's dead.
Not at all.
So,
Look at this. Look at us crossing off a fucking quest.
before we end, Leona, make a perception check.
Oh.
It's zombie Alrux.
You can
Are we
vaguely
gonna have to
tell
fight
that
undead
most of his
dwarves?
bones are broken.
Excellent. So, just before he turned to see the little elemental and pick up the letter, as he was silhouetted against the light from the crystal, you saw a strange shape. It was almost like a rope maybe was tied around his waist and trailing back behind him. But that's all you could see.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to start practicing my fake sympathy. Oh no, Leona, I'm so sorry your friend is now a puppet.
That is where we're going to end.
Oh my god.
Marionette.
That was intense. It started very intense for me anyways. It was the best worst level up ever.
That was good.
I'm just gonna say it.
You had a lot of mixed feelings.
Well, yeah, Tira's super upset, but Emma's like, cool, my dog does new fun stuff. So yeah, there was a lot of conflicting feelings about it. Also, you know, fishy liar types are gonna be fishy, and you don't want to trust them, even if they are telling the truth, which is very doubtful because liars.
Even when they hint at an ominous deal made between her and a dog, which is killing. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about. Poor decision making. Yay!
You might have rolled low insights, but Pontouf rolled very high insights. You gotta trust the dog.
Always
Let the
trust
dog go dog.
So dogs are such good judges of characters, and that's why he was scared the whole time.
Yeah. That's why he was terrified, and now he's completely okay with it. And I should be okay with it too. That's just who he is now. That's just his identity now, Mom. It's not a phase.
It's not a phase, Mom. Oh my god.
God, why are you always so embarrassing in public?
But it was very good times. Yes.
Good, I'm glad.
Shopping.
Can we go to the
And-
supermarket on the opposite side of town where my friends don't live?
Yeah, I want to go to the Publix. They have the cool deli. By the way, I shopped at a Publix for the first time, like, I don't know, like a week ago.
It's an experience, isn't it?
Nice. I liked it.
Customer service is outstanding.
Well,
And it was fun.
that was a